Are we ready for some D&D? Early bedtimes, so we shall crack straight in. No diddly squatting fucking around. As we are all hanging out outside a broken church. How emo of you all. After going on a little hunt, we were taken to this ruin, a ruin that the druids, Undriel and Bryn, had been to before, taken by a member of the Amberstead town settlement, who had been maybe withholding some information. Who knows why they might have been around giants. But either way, you were taken to the ruins, suggesting via magical means that they take you via the eastern route, which that he was specifically told not to do. You didn't see too much though. Maybe some sign of some giants. Who knows, potentially. And upon arriving, this ranger realized, ran home, and left you at the state of the ruin. You made your way inside, finding out a little bits of information that, one, this was a religious building, that it was clearly in a ruined state, that it looked very still and there was not much around. A few signs of footsteps. There were some animated plants outside who put up a thin defense to stop you getting in. There were a wee little puzzle as you were able to read the ritual, the funeral pyre ritual, whatever it was, of this god, but there was no mention of name, and all the statues and anything where a name or face of a god may have been seen was destroyed. You did work out the puzzle indeed to unlock the hidden crypt below of the martyrs and guardians of this god of unknown name. As you made your way through the crypt, finding some wands, a mask, and a phantom area, a missing... a plinth with a missing item, what looked to or appeared to be a crown that was removed from this crypt. There were guardians, ghosts, ghouls, spectres that appeared to try and kill you. I think Faywin was the reason for that. So I've written down in my notes, Faywin kept bringing back spectres.
No, hang on, no.
Faywin stole a mask and a ghost appeared, is what I've written.
I stopped Zaga from looting it.
And then?
Yeah, but did you steal it in order to do so?
No, I told it to put it back onto the mantle.
That's what the ghost thought as it appeared through. But you did destroy the guardians that were reappearing. That were managed to be destroyed as you replaced the mask, stole the wands, and exited quickly as the ground around. Oh no, sorry. Before that happened, as the wands told you that there was an enemy waiting for you upstairs. The Pegasus. And John would later reveal that to be a decrepit, half-dead owlbear. But before that, Von Van, seeing the space, removed his crown of intellect, placed it on the space where this other crown potentially was missing. And it started to shake, form, and transform as the wood and the twine of the headband of intellect morphed around, creating a crown of thorns, a large set of what looked like antlers. Something very similar to that of two things actually. That of the face of this god, although you couldn't see the face, you could see the skull and the horns on the statue that was left behind. But also that of all the visions you've seen of the Death Bloom, and all its forms thus far you have seen have had some form of antler attached to them. On that happening, the ground started to shake, the roots started to move, the crypt itself looked like it was about to fall as you fled with the two wands and the now mutated crown of thorns not being placed back on Von Van's head. Outside awaiting for you was a owlbear. The beautiful blue Pegasus let you know it was an owlbear. John told you it was an owlbear. John tried to goad it into a fight unsuccessfully. And upon starting a fight with the owlbear, it proclaimed it was the Death Bloom, and you were intruders, and you should be removed. You dispatched of this form of the Death Bloom after the owlbear body disintegrating this deep root ball, fungal type creature, a mess of different materials, natural and not, formed out of its body as you fought what was another visage of the Death Bloom, defeating it as it crumbled back down into the ground after trying to take down Von Van and you assume get back or take back this crown that had been created. but it was unsuccessful. You were successful, and you slayed the Death Bloom as the vines and the shudder fed back into the forest, the ground kind of calming for a second, the wind picking up in this ruin. You are all sat atop the hill after the fight, having leveled up. Welcome to level 14. But without your HP, you have not rested, so we have coming back directly after the fight. So, Rebels, as the Death Bloom has in this form dissipated down, you are feeling stronger but still weak from the battle. What would you like to do?
Is there still any remnants of it where it died? It's like kind of get samples to...
Yeah, there's some like
alive.
twigs and vines and brush that had left behind. Not everything had gone, but a lot of it just looks like twigs and vines. You can definitely grab some, easy enough to do so. But as you grab and look into them, they do look like dried out. They look like malnourished, dried out vines and twigs and branches.
I'll grab some anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool.
To take back.
Can I do an investigation check
Mm-hmm. What are you investigating for?
on the bit of ceiling that I tried breaking through and
Yep.
failed to do so? I want to see how close I was.
Okay.
Uh,
You better tell us what to roll when you said investigation.
well, it's a 6.
6. As you stand underneath it trying to work it, you give it a poke, it falls down, and you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
It wasn't even a nat. Nat fail.
I know, just felt like it.
Fair. I didn't even hear you roll for it as well.
Oh, it's
Madness.
silently. Does that help? Funny enough, I rolled a 2 and a 1 then, but I rolled the 5 the first time. And you'll never
That's
know
fine.
whether that's a lie or not.
I've taken the 5. It doesn't matter.
That's fine. As the rest of you hear inside, a bit of the ground collapse. There is one. So as that happens as well, you see on the furthest end from the altar as well, the ground starts to subside slightly as the crypt that was sat below this area. You're on top of this hill. Is slightly sunken in. You can see where that crypt underneath is probably fully collapsed in on itself now, as one half of this ruin is sunk a couple of foot lower down.
I will leave the building sharpish.
Mm-hmm.
So, where did that sneaky half-orc woman go? Because she's not here.
Andriel,
Yeah, that's what I said, the sneaky half-orc woman.
Farron doesn't like that she agrees with Saga. I don't know, I didn't see signs of her
She's a
down in
sneaky
the-
snake.
Unless she took the thing from the altar.
Yeah, so if there's
Could she be
anything,
the Death Bloom?
if there's anything that you want clarification on as well, there are chances to roll because there's a few things that you can assume from what you've seen. But yeah, you are more than welcome to roll checks to try and crystallize some of that if you would like. You've got
Can
lots of
I
answers,
do
but
a
also lots of
survival
questions.
check to see if I can see any similar sized footprints leading back away from the church?
Yes. You can, yeah. Go for a survival check.
29.
29. You don't see anything. You do see. There's a fair bit of disturbance through the front, where you guys were, where you guys started the fight. But actually, as you go out round the left and the right side, where the walls had caved in, especially the side you were on, that kind of north side, which was probably the furthest entrance, right? So you had the door that Arta pulled the handle off, the side that Faywin and Ottar left through. They were probably closest to the front. Your side, there was not a lot of track. Actually, when you're out there, it was pretty clean. And tracing back those 3 entrances and exits, you see clearly the boot marks of 1 or 2 people coming in and out. But from that north entrance, you see there's a set of footsteps that come out and turn right. They come out and turn away from the hill, heading eastward.
I will relay that to the rest of the group. Similar footprints to what we saw inside.
Yeah. So for map purposes, where's my map gone? Oh crap.
East is in where they said that the giants were.
East is the same way they said the giants were, yeah. So where Amberstead is, you have travelled in a northeasterly direction. They were told to take you north and then east, but you went east and then north. So you're just on the cusp of the second hex. You're just passed out of the Amberstead hex. And then, yeah, you know that to go back, they must have been going southwest. But these footsteps go directly east, deeper into the forest.
Von Van, do you know how old they are? Like, with your infinite knowledge of
29.
of woods and stuff, do you know if they're recent or?
Can I tell whether they're recent?
There's only one set. The grass has grown a lot more around here, which makes it difficult, and that is unsurprising with the Death Bloom's kind of influence here. But you would say they are fresher than the other sets, fresher than the larger boot sets, those that have come before that went in and out. These ones are the freshest sets, so they are within a few weeks, most likely.
So, who's got that druid map? What's that way?
More
Oh.
forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of trees.
Trees.
Can I clarify something out of character really quick with the map? The lines between are the places that Bryn went.
Yes.
There's no line from Amberstead up to this bit of forest. Is that meant to be the case? Or is that something I'll try and work out? Or is it...
I would say that Amberstead is... Let me pull the map over. Because I was drawing your red line on as well. What am I pressing? This is what I'm pressing. So I would say... Oh, here's the Pegasus as well. Look, I've already placed you atop in preparation. It actually matches your kobold colours.
I was about to compliment that Zaga, you little rat.
So
It's well painted, but I hate it.
It's,
Sorry, Kurt.
it's okay painted. I had to paint it when it's wet. So this area you're at is right on the cusp of the hex. So I would say that you assume that
It's not
him
fully
traveling
into
to
the next
Amberstead is not fully over. So you're right on the cusp here is where you are now.
Yeah. Okay.
The further east, so the direction that the footsteps go are kind of this way. You know that there are a few other ruins you know about. Stonehelm being... Woo! Okay, you can't use the griffin. I just knocked off his base. Let me go this way. And another hex square. But yeah, you're right. For Bryn's, the red line is the line you guys have travelled. The white lines, he took, and you know this from his notebooks as well, he took multiple trips.
Yeah.
And each of the trips were slightly different ones. So from Whitewood you went north. He had gone to see Jenny. He had separately come into Whitewood and gone south. He had also gone across the Dunbar. He'd also come to Amberstead. But they were like his individual journeys. He'd also made it over to the Elven Seas. So yeah, they're the places he had been. But yeah, he did not travel eastward across, which makes sense from what the people of Amberstead told you as well. That he went to ruins,
back
came
north,
back.
didn't
Yeah.
So, are we following these prints east, or are we going back to the village full of liars?
I mean, what sort of time is it?
You left early in the morning, had a fight, so it's probably only about lunchtime. You've probably got half a day-ish about available to you.
And if we're going to go east, do we want to rest somewhere first? Does this place look safe?
No, and I kind of gesture with my hands that like there's a hole in the floor and it's getting bigger and it may not be my fault. And we can't go back to the village of liars.
We could go back and see Bo.
That's so far though.
I can take us back
He
to
can
Bo.
take us through trees.
Wait, you can do that? Since when?
We've literally done it like 3 times.
Oh, I thought I was just having a really big nap and someone carried me. That makes so much more sense now that I think about it. Because we've done it twice. Yeah.
No,
okay.
we even went to Feywin's mum's house.
I thought I dreamt that.
We even took a gigantic body through a tree as well.
Wait, didn't you send your dad a message, Feywin?
Yes. My mum came back.
Yeah.
And she just gave information about gods that if they are gone and forgotten, then that's kind of the end of it.
So we don't need to go see him.
No.
Arthur, what do you know about gods being reincarnated? Is that a
I
thing?
thought we'd already done this this thought. The answer was not much, if any.
Brilliant.
Makes sense.
We've had this conversation.
Says the man who doesn't remember.
We had it
travelling
before the
through a
fight
tree.
when we were underground. And I
So
think
where are we
what I
going? What are we doing?
What
Doesn't
I
know
said
shit.
was, yeah, I guess.
It's probably your exact words too. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
If
something
there
like
is more specific information that we need from my dad, I can message them in the morning.
Well,
Arthur, do you have a way of getting in touch with Callan? This Callan, right?
that. Who are you talking to?
Well, he's your father figure.
Yeah.
Is he? Since when was that a thing?
I'll give advantage to anyone
He's just
that
an
wants
old
to attack
dwarf
Dan
that
right now.
follows me around occasionally. No, why would I have a way to contact him? Do you think like you just do a dance and he appears? Like
Maybe you can commune with God. Maybe you can commune with him.
he's not a god. He's a fat old dwarf.
When you, out of character, when Arthur speaks to his god and asks questions, he's told us that he can do that before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I've seen
yeah,
that.
yeah. No, I did.
You've seen him
'cause
do it. But I
uh,
don't know if you. Oh yeah, you did because you said what questions did you ask,
Yeah.
and you bemoaned his ridiculous answers.
And how often can you speak to your gods, Arthur, back in character?
I mean,
Is
do you
it
want
like
the correct
a-
answer or do you want a Zagger answer?
I mean, if you're going to try and charge me to speak to your own god, I'd probably think about it before you say that out
Oh no,
loud.
I didn't mean money. No, go on. I've already taken enough of your money. No,
Don't tell Zaga that. Jeez.
it's not his money.
Money?
I guess technically I can do it.
Oh, that's you're thinking. Otto,
Yeah.
roll me a d6.
D6.
Yep.
6.
Cool. Keep going.
I mean, I can technically do it whenever. Really. I mean, it gets the string that binds us gets weaker if I attempt it more than once. And I mean, I don't feel like I'm strong enough to do any spells, but I guess if I had 10 minutes, I wouldn't need to. But who has 10 minutes these days? We're fighting for our lives.
I just thought as maybe a backup if we're unable to get hold of Callan. And there
He's
were...
he's not a postal worker. He's not going to
No, I
go
know.
deliver messages.
He was helping in Redvant, right? With all the issues that were going on there.
Yeah, I guess so, but he's not going to be able to pass a message on. Like the questions you ask are like,
I'm not
how
using
do
your
I
god
how
as
to
a
become a
sending
better
stone.
follower and
Yeah.
is it
god
going to
isn't-
rain today and
No, Arthur, no.
does my bum look big in this dress?
How many dresses have you worn on this campaign?
None.
Well-
But I'm just thinking of questions you can ask.
Your neck looks chunky in your turtleneck.
I prefer the word defined.
No,
While-
defined is the opposite of chunky.
While they're having this conversation, can I
Yep.
sit down and start communing with nature?
Yes. Yes, you can.
That also will take 10 minutes, so if you want to do your talking to God, it's perfect
It's
time.
not necessarily for
Right,
now.
right.
It's more Faerun asking Arthur if he can do it in case we're unable to get hold of Callan. But there are
Why do we need to get in
questions-
touch with Callan?
There are questions about the divine aspect or the religious stuff, not necessarily the god who is forgotten, but there are indications that this could be something to do with divine. So if Callan knows of anything, we can ask him. If we can't get hold of him, it was more finding out whether you could speak to your god to ask such questions.
Oh, so I'll ask him. So what would happen if I started following a different god? Is that what you're asking here? Like, I don't understand.
Fabian walks away from Arta.
Arta looks.
Arthur, out of
Really?
character, really doesn't want to think of 3 questions, so just doesn't want to do it.
Sweet, so you don't need 10 minutes. Nice. Communion with nature. So, it's like on the Pegasus, either yourself or Pegasus, can you give me a perception check?
The Pegasus will do it
The
because
Pegasus, I believe,
he
was
is
keeping-
much better at it than
Yeah,
I am.
I thought that was the case.
I wish John could look. He's incredible.
That is a nat 1 plus 4. 5.
Perfect. You feel safe.
Safe.
The commune with nature, Vaughn. What are you going to ask?
I want to ask if there's any prevalent movement of giants in the area. Having known
yep.
of the conversation before, hoping that they're not nearby.
With your commune with nature, we've said you can point it at where you are, or you can point it at adjacent hexes to find out more about them. Would you be pointing it at an adjacent hex to ask, or are you asking about, are you in immediate danger?
I'm gonna go with immediate danger.
You get no pings of giants in the immediate vicinity.
Okay, good.
Where to next?
You get three. Do you get 3 things?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what other ones I can ask. That's kind of what I wanted to find out. Well, might as well use the other
You can
two.
push. You don't have to put. You can point the 3 at 3 different hexes if you want. So we just said
Okay,
essentially,
well then-
as a beacon, you can point out. I just want to know whether you were asking about. If you're saying where we are now, it's like, I have been telling you about further afield rather than where you are now, but you could use it for where you are now if you wanted.
All right, yeah. So then, in the eastern direction, then, any buildings that are within the vicinity in the eastern direction, and also any sort of, if I can sense a strong influence from another plane in that sort of direction as well.
Interesting. No. Into this hex, which you can go 1 over from where you are, you do not sense any strong other. Would we say? What? Read me the bit about the planes.
It's very very open, aren't they?
Yeah.
The examples. It literally just says influence from other planes of existence.
I would say no. So I'd say nothing on planes, nothing on buildings.
Can you not ask if the death bloom's in that hex?
Would nature tell him that, though? That's the real question.
Would nature tell him that? I'll tell you one thing, because that's your 3 points, is an interesting set of questions. One thing you do notice, Von, though, in doing your commune with nature this time round, is you are not hearing the whispers of that you had heard before. You are not hearing the where before when you've done this, or a few times when you've kind of felt out for nature magic, shall we say, or use your ability to attune into nature, you would have heard you had a few almost like paranoia, a little bit of slight paranoia about your allies, and are they sabotaging your plans, and do they have the best interests of the forest? and a few little bits that were just building that you had a few times here and there. This time, as you commune out of nature, it's clean. You get a response back. It's not. There's no undertone of paranoia there.
Okay.
But
Okay,
in that hex, no immediate. So in the hex you're in, no giant's presence. In the hex to the east, the one where the footsteps are leading, no signs of buildings, and no, I would say no other planar existence. Other planar influence.
Okay.
So you're coming up stuck.
Do you have one more?
Hmm?
Do you have one more?
No,
That's all very well.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was a current hex.
Is it cheating? Because I know that the Pegasus did say badly to ask John to have a look around for danger.
No,
Could I ask John to look around for danger,
Yeah.
please?
you're on a pretty high point.
So that is 1 second. Plus 13, 27.
27. So you send John up from the top of this hill to look around. With a 27, there is nothing in the immediate vicinity. I would say to the direct south, difficult to pick out, difficult to judge distance, difficult to judge size. But John can see moving from the south. Looking south, it would be moving as you look at it from right to left. So from west to east. So it'd be traveling east. Something flying, a creature flying through the air. John, even with the 27, looking, because he's looking miles out now. You're talking like he's clearing your hex probably into the next hex. So like 3, 4, 5 miles away. He can see a creature that is flying through the sky.
Okay.
Not close, not immediate danger. Can't work out what it is, can't work out how big it is, how far away it is, but can see something that is...
Okay. Coming towards us, essentially.
No.
Going alongside us.
Yeah, flying across. So it would be fly. Yeah, so John's looking south. So you're here.
Yeah.
And John's seeing something fly like this way.
Okay, I got you.
But distance
So
out.
it's south from us
size,
going west,
south from us
east.
going. Yeah, it's not coming towards you, but you can with that higher roll, he can spot something. But he's a bird trying to judge a distance that's way too far for him to be able to. Essentially, his judge is like it's not danger, but there's a thing.
Yeah. Okay. I let everybody know something to the south of us travelling west to east. Little John Boy can't work out what it is, but we should.
I would also relate that there was no giants in the nearby vicinity, so that was one of the things we was worrying about.
So where are we going? What are we doing?
I could definitely, if we're going to continue moving for the rest of the day, I could do with some sort of rest now.
Why don't we go back to Redvant
Quite
for the
a bit.
night, come back here, and then travel east?
Can do.
You can catch Bo up. I can go shopping. But I can build a church somewhere.
I can't until I sleep.
Do that tomorrow.
I mean, if we're in Redvant, we've got the silent dagger, so
Oh, I could build a church in the Silent Dagger, and I could use it like a confessional. Learn all the secrets. Don't think that's very holy thinking about it, but it would be fun.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Maybe we could have a think as well when we get there, whether we wanted to see about scrying. Saying it now so I don't forget when we get there. Because Bo's going to be excited to see us, so just want to get that in now.
Oh, you want to scry? I can scry right now. Who are we scrying on?
Insight check. It's only an 18. It's probably not going to win.
Zagger is definitely lying.
We all knew.
Phone ignores him. Should we go back?
Okay. I will find a suitable tree. Take note
There's
of.
a lot of them.
Yeah,
I'll probably message Bo on the sending stone beforehand, just to warn him that we are heading back.
Yep.
Having fought the Deathloom again.
Yes. Nice. So you, find a tree. There's easy enough to find big enough trees. You're in the middle of a forest. So yeah, you find one not far away. So you could, and you know where it is. So you could mark to come back to this spot if you would like. As you cast the spell, open a portal into the tree and pass through into the space. Still in the south. You're still coming back. I don't think you found another tree in Redvant that's further north. So you still come out south of the.
We was hoping we still had one of those seeds to plant one, but we haven't.
Yeah. As you make your way back to Redvant, midday. So as you come in, what month are we in now? March? March indeed. It's getting warmer. A nice, sunny, warm day as you make your way north through the town. The area to the south is starting to be used a little more. The elves obviously haven't returned. There are some defense as you pass through. There's like some semblance of like a defense force being built up here. There's like people on guard, but they're not really well armored. And seeing you come, you see them startle a little before recognizing, of course, who you are. As you make your way up through the town back to the Silent Dagger, the sloshiness of the slummy areas is starting to dry out. It's less wet, dank, and stinky. So all around, Redvant seems to be going from strength to strength in terms of its appearance and the people that live there. As you pick up generally, as you make it back to the Silent Dagger, where Bo and Len are hanging out, dissecting shit again. So up to you. You have a day, so you can ask some questions, do some spells now, and then of course you can long rest and then reset them all. So what do you want to do pre-sleeping and then sleeping, and what do you want to do after sleeping?
I want to ask Bo if he's got any answers about that blood I gave him yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so Bo will go... right, which dice am I going to use today? You're all cursed. The new ones haven't arrived yet. Oh, I rolled a 19 straight away. This dice is staying. The blood. So you gave him your blood on the... after you were seeing the plants grow around you, right?
Yeah. I gave him like the before and after the Great Restoration.
Yes. He will be able to tell you. Where's my notes on Bo? Give me 1 second, because I've put them in 2 different places.
Is he still a giant moth?
Bo's not a moth.
Oh, that was bloody
That's
Bumblefuck.
Bumblefuck.
Yeah, that was Fizzle Bumblefuck.
Yeah, he's still at Jenny's.
They both
being
begin
a
with
little
B.
bitch.
It's fine.
Here he is. Here he is. Bo's notes. Yep. Cool. So what's handed over? I'm going to have to split this up. Give me 1 second, because I feel like this is going to get confusing for me. Yep. Nice. He tells you there was in your... what was it you cast on it? Restoration?
Yeah, I took a potion of great... No, it was just normal restoration spell. Or remove curse, one of the
It was a
two.
remove curse spell. He says the blood you had had lingering a lingering curse within it on the first test, and on the second test it disappeared. So it hadn't, whatever was there didn't hang around, and on the post one your blood was clear. So he assumes you had a curse of some sort that was cleared and wasn't lingering in the blood. So whatever it was caused by, has been cleaned out. And he's like, a weird one, but it looks like you picked up a curse somewhere. Definitely.
Any idea on what kind of curse?
What would Bo know about curses? Brains. Let me read. Bo, What do you know? No. Nothing. Only that he's like, essentially, curses can be wide-ranging, can come from lots of different things, and you have been putting your fingers in lots of different pies. So, where it came from, he doesn't know. He definitely knows it was a blood to do with, a curse. Sorry, to do with, your blood specifically, and your I think that's all he would know. I say actually, I don't think it will help that much though. It would have some form of nature in it. He says that the first sample he pulled had some natural elements into it, a bit like a bark skin. That it had something to do with growth, regeneration, whether that was within your blood to help with healing or not healing. But he said there was something similar to a bark skin in there, and that was probably why the plants were growing, that there was something in there that nourished plant growth, a bit like a druid spell. But as to like what type, there's no, like, it's not a specific type of curse. You can just try and pull out the traits of the curse. But then you know kind of the some of the side effects, like when your blood was causing plants to grow.
Could I also ask him while I'm there what he knows about whether it's divine or druidic sort of reincarnation to do with the temple, whether it's, he knows anything about gods being reincarnated? Could it be the death bloom? Could it be like a reincarnated god that was upset with how the world was before and trying to refashion it towards what nature wants?
No, I think on saying that to Bo, you would almost blow his mind a little bit, because he has been attacking this. The druids have divine magic. They follow the nine. They follow the 9 gods.
Yeah.
But they also approach stuff from a scientific purpose in so much of nature, like so much of what they're not like, oh, this holy power that they get, blah, blah. They can see how they can just tune and work with nature, so they see it way more like, well, I suppose a bit more like Jedis, where they're like, they are harnessing and using natural forces that already exist, rather than being like, oh, godly god, thank you for giving me this power, which is a little bit more clericy. But his expertise is, he's like never would have thought of like reincarnation. He knows there's lots of gods, and he knows people have them in different ways, and he knows the 9 sisters aren't supported by everybody, but the druids, they represent different areas of nature, and that's how they use their powers. Whether, it's just not within his wheelhouse, I don't think at all.
Does he know anyone who might have more information on this?
He would probably tell you to speak to people in the Commonwealth, or find, either speak to people in the Commonwealth or find a holy man.
Tried one holy man, that didn't work very well.
Yeah.
I can
thank you, Bo.
message my dad. I'll message my dad in the morning, Otar, with your questions. He might be able to research in the library or know of a holy man.
Yes, I mean, if anyone's going to have information, it'll be your dad.
If only I knew a holy man.
I am a holy man.
Is Callan a cleric?
Yeah. I reckon I've overtaken him in levels now, so I don't think he's the man to ask.
I don't know.
He's also
Unless
been
he's
around a lot longer
leveling
than
up
you.
alongside us.
Unless I've been leveling up just in case I ever need to kill you.
Zaga wants to go see if the magic shop is reopened.
Okay.
Because he gets on so well with the owner.
I know. I'd get you to roll a luck check, but it definitely isn't going to be opened. No. I think you didn't give him back any magical items, and you didn't really give him any money. So, no.
I gave him, what did I give? Do something.
Yeah, it's not enough to start a magic shop. I wonder if middle of the day.
It's just I've got some items that I'm carrying that nobody else seems to want.
No, I
And
think you truly
I
fucked
have
the magic
lots
shop.
of money.
Yeah,
Lots of money.
I know, and I've stopped building magic shops because you fuck them over and try and steal from them. So
I've never stolen from a magic shop.
talked about stealing from a magic shop. You stole from his soul. What do you mean you
Your
didn't?
reputation precedes you, and now every shop has hold person spells ready.
You picked. Yeah, they do actually. You picked
Like,
like.
the shop with the gems, they definitely don't like me.
Yeah, they don't. You picked up a whole like chest, a little small jewelry box full of different things, and then you stole them. You could have returned them, and he could have been rich. But instead, he has nothing. No, I don't think the magic shop will be open. I honestly don't think he's got enough. And it's only been like 2 weeks. There ain't no way he's got enough to be able to buy enough stock. So at the moment, there is no magic shop open here.
Damn. We need to go back to all.
I would suspect it's
all
taken
have to be
taken a
the
while for the trading lanes to open back up, given the previous pirates as well.
Yeah, from the outside, and also across land, like all health is still, as far as you're aware, is still pretty much in lockdown, trying to fight the Deathloop.
There should be no shopping for Zaga.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't need any extra gems at the moment.
No, so gems and stuff. You've bought a lot of diamond dust, but if you want to fill up on diamond dust and bits, stuff will be coming in. But magic items and the trade of magic items is pretty rare anyway. This guy won't have had.
Who was
loads
that
of
fella
magic
with the cart that wandered around?
Gallon. Not to
Is there
be
any chance he's
confused
back
with
around here?
I called him Gavin.
Did you call him
I'll
Gavin?
go see Viper and ask if he's due back anytime soon.
Oh yeah. Cool. She can put, if you were looking for stuff, she can put a call out for him. He's not due back, but he is a floater, so it depends where he thinks. He again was heading for Allhearth last you saw him to try and make money.
Yeah, I'll ask that she let us know if he's coming back into town.
Yeah. When did you meet him on the road?
Because that was on the way back to Redvant the first time, wasn't it? Before everything else that happened.
I think it was when we interacted with the hobgoblins, we saw him around about then, I think.
Shit, yeah. Yes, I think he's still in Allhearth. Yeah, and unfortunately, that is not Redvant's strength.
When
There's one more
Zaga
purple
goes,
things on my list.
I should stop
I
staring.
think I can afford them then.
when did you go to Viper to ask her about Gavin?
I did.
Okay, I'll go with Zaga, please.
I'm just going to try and hug her.
Well, that is how I'm going to begin.
Okay.
When they head off that way, I'm gonna hand over the bits of like branch and whatever else I picked up when we fought with Death Boom, hand them over to Bo, and head up to my room to get some rest because I'm feeling pretty tired.
Oh, if we are going to the Redvant's place, maybe I'll go see Al the chemist.
Yep.
Oh, what do you
I'll
want to
be
see him
comfortable
for, Zaga?
He's cool.
I am.
You want to come along?
Yeah,
Tell how
but
much you love Al.
I don't really need anything, but I feel like we did develop some sort of bond last time we went.
You are incorrect.
Before we go, I do need to speak to Viper.
Mhm.
Could I please try and hug her?
You can. Yep.
Will she try?
You should
and
have said,
contest
"Can I
it?
please succeed in hugging her?" That would have been a better way to get there.
Yeah, she rolled low on her attack. She doesn't think you come in, you get sneak attack.
Oh, sick. What's
Three
that?
people draw swords on you. Roll initiative.
No.
Yeah. That's
Am I unarmed attacking her?
no, you don't have to unarmed attack her.
I rolled a 22.
She knows enough that it's just not gonna. It's just
give
fine.
it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost like as you go for the hug, she has that conversation with Zaga about saying when, or essentially seeing if Gallon is around, or putting a call out for Gallon because there's money to be made here.
Okay. Nice to see you, Viper.
Yes, and you.
Feels like it's been a while.
It's been many days.
I don't suppose that you do you remember Callan, the guy that came? He was a very, very powerful cleric, probably the most powerful cleric I've ever met, and he was helping the refugees and after all of the nonsense
He
with
looks
the
after
elves.
looks after the children.
Yes. I don't suppose he's still around, is he? That you know of?
I mean, we could see if he is still about. I know he was getting ready to go out wandering, as I believe he likes to do. But yes, was just, I think, seeing if there were any after the big fight that happened up in the north, whether there was any, how do we put this delicately?
Dead?
Children? No, not dead. Jesus. Other children needing his help. Maybe those that have lost family or loved ones, or some more of his wandering
Orphans.
clan. Orphans, yes. Jesus, I should have said orphans. I didn't realize you were going to go to dead. Been a tough time, hasn't
Sorry, it's been a really rough couple of
Yeah,
weeks, as you know.
it feels like it.
My brain goes straight there. Okay. I may have a couple of questions. If you hear of him still being around, if he's returned from wandering, could you get Bo to let us know, if that's okay, please?
Yes. I mean, yeah, we can. Are you? How long are you staying around for?
Well, not long.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we
But
can.
I'm sure the information would be valuable whenever it is received.
To know he's
if it's in
around?
the next... no. Anata doesn't have a way of contacting him, so...
We can get the Redvards out looking to see if he's about, and if you are about for the day and part of tomorrow, we can see if I can
Yeah.
find if
We'll
not.
definitely
just
be
tell
around
me.
tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be leaving again tomorrow, but it may be useful.
Yeah,
That's
she
okay.
she just goes cool and just like puts like two kind of hand up and waves someone over as one of the younger guys comes over, and she gives a detail out to him and just says not to be harmed, just let him know to make his way towards the Silent Dagger Inn because the team are there, and tell him Arthur's there. That'll get him there quickly. As he kind of nods and shoots off, and she's like, perfect. Anything else?
Do I hear this?
No,
No, you're
back
not
at
there.
the
But do I like sense it in my? Do I sense it in my bones?
thing. No. I rolled for you. You rolled a 4. No.
I shiver.
Not a chance of you messing up getting Callan to come and see us. Be a nice surprise for you.
Let's leave straight away.
And I shan't tell you when we go back to the Silent Dagger either.
Good choice. Yep. I was going to say, is there anything else for Viper?
No.
No.
She will say to you, Zagra, as well, if there's stuff that you particularly want sold or you want to buy, and there's things that she can or they can barter in between, so they can take from you and make sure deals happen if you are not around.
Well, I do have a couple of things I want to get rid of, but I don't really know what he's going to be carrying that I could exchange. So, yeah, hold on to these for me.
Mhm.
And I hand her a rapier of life stealing.
You just can't
That's
get
fine.
loads of weapons. She's like, what the fuck?
I hand her a wand of fear. And I hand her a stone of good luck. Brackets, luck stone. And explain what they are. And I said, get me a good price.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
It's fine, I'm used to him now. Lovely. Perfect. She'll take those. They'll store them. Actually, she will probably give them to... No, she'll hold on to them. Nice. She'll take them from you guys. She's like, yeah, well, when he's through, we'll tell him. I mean, if money is jingling, he has a way of normally turning up. So if there's anything you want us to watch out for, we'll give you a shout if he's about. We don't have a way of contacting anymore, but I'm sure you'll be back soon enough.
If it's something urgent, Viper, you can ask Bo. We can contact him.
Yep. Okay. She's like, perfect. Bo, of course. He's you watch him. He's like barely leaving the pub from what we can work out. Him and Len seem to be hunkered down there a lot. So I'm sure they're fine, but a bit of fresh air.
Druids.
Yeah.
They're
bit
just
weird.
druids.
A little bit weird. And she's like, oh, speaking of weird druids, the question
Combat?
you had, yes, making me think about the question you asked. We've had some rumours that this circle, this council of spiders that we were feeding into, I had an extra ping of information, not much, just to say that they seem to be very active and are potentially active in Allhearth in some way. But that's just the rumour that we've heard thus far, that they are, I don't know, resurfacing, coming up from wherever they have been hidden. But yeah, it seems like asking the question sent around, and yes, I got a ping back from the Coven to say that apparently there are rumours that Allhearth may have some circling inhabitants.
Well, maybe he's going home.
Interesting. Very interesting. Thank you, Viper. Anything else, please do let us know. That is,
I will do.
Does Fabian react at all to maybe he's going home?
Nope.
I know you. Nice. So yeah, well,
Does Viper react at all to maybe he's going home?
I think Viper is at the point now where she essentially ignores most of what you say, Zaga.
Excellent.
Thank God.
Just like... she will say, also, it's been brought to my attention just before you leave. I'm sure you've got it all in hand. You did rent 4 horses from the stable before you left.
Oh, shit.
I'm assuming they're not coming back, and we can just tell the proprietor just to keep the deposit, and we go from there.
Did we just forget they existed? I feel like we may have just forgotten they existed.
I'm
Out of
pretty sure there
character.
wasn't 4 horses. Was there? There were 3.
No, it's 4.
No, that was the
Oh
first
my
time.
god. They're still at the Hobgoblin
Still in the
camp, aren't
Hobgoblin
they?
camp, yeah.
Hobgoblins now have 4 horses.
Yeah. You paid 400 gold. You're likely not gonna get it back. But she's just like, shall I tell him? And because he's inquired, your faces and names did go up on a little bit of a. Have you seen these people? We aren't asking questions. We made sure that came down once we realised what was
Thank
going
you.
on. But yeah, I should probably give him an update. So are we just saying the horses are? Yeah. Okay.
Keep the
Keep the
deposit.
deposit.
Um,
We'll sweeten
Yeah.
the deal. Don't worry.
How long have you been holding on to that one, Hab? How many IRL weeks?
Many weeks. I just have a live quest in my thing that just has all their names on them, and I'm like, these horses are going to die. These horses have probably
The
been
names
eaten.
of the horses.
Yeah,
I mean, the hobgoblins
Bracken,
definitely
Moss,
eaten them,
Ashen,
haven't they?
Cinder. Hobgoblins have definitely eaten the horses. Well, they're either using them or they're going to eat them.
So we could have just
No,
left them at the spa and
Hobgoblins
they would
doing
have loved them there.
agriculture.
You could have left them at the spa. Oh yeah, you took the horses, went up to the spa, went to the hobgoblins, and that was the end of them. Yeah. Cool.
yes,
I want to go
please,
back to the spa.
Please
Sounds
keep
good.
the deposit.
Lovely. We'll sort that one out. No worries. I'll try and get them to find Callan if they can, and he can make his way, if he is here, over to find you guys. Otherwise, yeah, you're a bit unlucky. And Zaga, as soon as Callan is through, we'll make sure he's aware that there is some money to be made. I think times are hard at the moment. Not a lot of trade going internally. Allhearth is shutting up shop a little bit, although you guys are looking well, so I'm assuming Death Bloom fighting is going well. We haven't really heard a peep since in the forest, so we are trying to set up a little south border, little defense in case the elves reappear, but so far so good. She like touches the horns.
Hey, you know us, we're expert fighters.
So all is going well. You are giving me hope from this.
Well, we're not dead.
I mean,
Fabian nods.
true. She's like, I do wonder what would kill you though. You've survived quite a lot.
Old age, I think.
Well, hopefully for all of us. Well, lovely to see you all. Have a great time. And like I say, we're here if you need us for anything.
Thanks, Viper. Appreciate it.
As you guys head off. The pub upstairs has been completely rebuilt and is functioning again now at this point as well, where it was destroyed. The secret entrance.
Did
is
you actually
rebuilt.
want to go to see Al the chemist?
Oh yeah.
No, I don't need to.
To be honest, I can't be asked.
If you there's stuff you want to
Listen,
buy, we can. If there's potions and stuff you want to buy, we can just do. We don't need to do the shopping bit.
No, I was going to ask him what his most powerful potion is.
Okay. He turns you.
Does he
into
have like a wish in the
duck.
bottle?
Of course he doesn't have a wish in the bottle. You gotta get off Reddit. As if I'm gonna. Oh, of course. This guy in Redvant's got a wish in a bottle. What do you want to wish for? Poof. Oh, you're deaf. Okay, you're dead. Oh shit.
No, I was going to wish to become a dragon.
Exactly. I ain't putting that in a shop that you can just buy. / knowing
Yeah,
you
let's
be like,
skip
oh, I'll use a 9th level spell. I'm just gonna take that thing. It's like, no, thank you, please. I'd quite like to finish this campaign on my own terms. I will kill you.
Try and sneak it in there.
No, I'm not stupid. I know what to watch out for. But yeah, if you do want to buy potions or you want to stock up on stuff, you're back in a city where Al the Chemist will have potions of healing, will have, some...
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if Faywin wanted to go.
Yeah, some other potions. But again, if you just want to say what you want, we can then deal with it that way rather than having to deal with the charming man that is Al.
Yeah, I don't really like him.
That's fine. But yeah, there's quite a lot of potions, and they all have prices. So, I like to say, Zaga's got a lot of money.
Yeah, he's not going to buy anything.
Are we spending Zaga's money now, are we?
I was going to... Yeah, see? Not a chance. Faywin's skin. I've still got 2 healing potions, I think.
What do you mean your skin? What have you been doing?
Not looting it.
Paying Arta.
I'm paying Arta. Getting scammed. Nah, I think I'm okay.
Sweet.
I do need to borrow Otar before I go to sleep, though.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, Zaga has no other business. He's quite happy in the long run.
Yep. Nice. Anything else this evening?
Well, while they were gone,
Yep.
when I get up to my room to start with, I'm going to... first of all, just in case, I'm going to cast Healing Word myself just to get some of my health back. So
Yep.
Anyway.
Just fall down the stairs and die.
Oh god, D&D Beyond rolling is so slow. Fuck me, what's going on with this? And then I want to take out the crown and look at it for a second. And can I, from being from the forest, can I do a history check to see if I feel like I recognise it from any kind of lore I may have been told while I was younger or something like that?
Yes.
Ooh, that's not great. That's a 10.
This crown doesn't look like... It's weird because it was a... what's this thing called? What was the actual crown called? Is it called
What, the original thing?
Yeah.
Headband of Intellect.
Headband, that's the one I'm looking for. Headband of Intellect. It was, yeah, like a very loose crown is not the right way, it's a headband, right? So it goes round. This thing now has formed it, and it has had the addition, where it was a mix of materials, is the material that's been added to it is, again, you can't quite make out what the material is. Although it looks a hell of a lot like the body of the Death Bloom you were fighting. Like this mix of fungus, natural material, and then some other form of some other material. Like some unknown material in between. It's this mix of these three. And it's completely encompassed and entwined itself with the Headband of Intellect. But with a 10, the only thing you think it looks like is... One, the statue that you looked at before. Fucking hell, these dogs can't decide whether they're in or out. Little twats. Looks like the statue. The way that the and it's less on the way it is now and the way it was. It is almost a direct replica of what was that on that god's head. That like this crown was designed to replicate how this god had looked. You can't tell what was going on with the face, but the way that it is pulled up and round is like horns, but they're not like thorn horns, and it seems like the mix of that with the mix of what you've been seeing from the Death Bloom, there was obviously some inspiration taken from one to the other, but that's all it reminds you of. Every time you're going back, you're like, does it look like anything else? Almost your mind loops always round to the when you fought the Death Bloom the first time, and it was this like weird decrepit deer thing. When you met it in the prison when you were freeing Bo, again, like this deer-shaped thing. Even when you saw the weird fungal thing that came out of the pile of bodies, That was a slender, skinny version of, again, this like humanoid form with these hills. So every time you're thinking like, where else have I seen this? All you're reminded of is how many times you've actually seen it just related to the Death Bloom. You can't piece it to anything else. But then again, you do know that if it is from a god that no one remembers, that might be why.
Wouldn't be able to piece it to anything else anyway.
No. So every time you're like, what? It could be something else. You're trying to span out, like, could it be something else? All you're coming back to is like, you looked at the statue of that god. What you're looking at now is a headband that if you placed it on the head of a statue head, you would create the head of that god that was there. Also, it looks exactly like the form that came out of the dead pile of bodies. It looks almost exactly like the form of the early Death Bloom, and looked exactly like the creature you just fought there. It had this weird serpent-like tail that had the arms and legs, like 2 arms, 2 legs, and then this head that formed into this crown again. But the headband of intellect, if it is still in there, is clearly cursed. Like, looking at this now, you don't get a headband. You can see where the headband originally is and where it's been overtaken. That doesn't look normal to you. I think you can quite clearly see that this would be cursed.
Does it look like Von Van's arm?
It's, yeah, not quite. Von Van's arm is just a pigmentation change.
Everything's pointing against putting it on my head. But I so want to put it on my head.
Do it.
I'm going to put the crown on.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to try to attune to it?
Yeah.
Sweet. Give me intelligence saving throw.
That is a 19.
19. Nice. You put the crown on and you attempt to try and attune to it. You feel your intelligence score increase to that of the headband that it had before. You immediately hear, once you have it on, you hear the voices again. The fact that you are the only one that could have wielded this. You're the only one that's there. The rest of the party don't have your back. How can you really trust anyone? They're probably going to want to take this from you. You need to protect this crown. This crown needs to be protected. The forest needs to be protected. You can't trust anybody. You need to keep this secret. And you believe this.
Okay.
That's it for now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else for the evening?
I need to see Otter.
Mm-hmm.
Just not for anything exciting.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
What do I want to do? Do I want to do anything? I don't know if I do. I don't really think there's anything I need to do other than sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I can get back my church and go back to my, praying to the divine.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least respecting the divine. I think that's a better way to phrase it with Arta.
Fabian, you find Otter.
I go into the inn and see that one man's not around. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Otter, could I borrow you for 5? Please?
Sure.
We need to go and find a field. And I tap my shard. I need to reset this, and I don't know what's going to happen. So I need someone to look out for me, please.
Is Zaga still there since he came back with Fabian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, God. I mean, there may be personal injury, so...
Excellent. I can't wait to see you in Joanna.
Well,
Thanks.
Okay.
Sure. Anything
Thank
to
you.
help.
Thanks so much.
Nice. So you're gonna go. You'd have the only place you'd be able to go really is, or the closest place will be back down south towards where you cross the bridge to go into the forest. There's enough space there that is clear of setting anything on fire. There's water around, which is helpful, and there's not people, at least for a couple 100 feet.
I think that's where we went last time.
Yeah, I think so.
So yeah, I'll do that. So it's 2 d20s.
So what do you want me to do?
If I disappear, I may be invisible.
Okay.
If I set fire to things, then please put it out. If I turn blue, please don't laugh. There's a number of things that could happen.
Target.
The first two I can do. The third one I can't guarantee. I'll try my best though.
If I don't know, become some sort of sheep, for example, please don't leave me. It's essentially just making sure that I get back safely, whatever happens. Things are unlikely to last very long, but I did accidentally set everybody on fire the last time I did this, so I'm still attuning to my Fae thing.
Gotcha.
I rolled a 15 and a nat 20, but I think it's 1.
Otter backs up 20 feet.
No, hang on, I think double checked. I think reset isn't resetting just rolling on the. Because you roll when you use it, that's what you roll, and the number you need to beat is that. But to reset it, I think you just have to roll on the wild magic table.
Okay. It says
Mid-check
that it has 5 charges after use of a charge. You roll a
Yeah.
d20 immediately if you roll a 1.
Yeah, so that's if you roll. So at the moment you've got 2 charges on there, right? So if you roll a 1 or a 2, that's when you'd have to roll on the table. But charges can be regained with a voluntary roll on the wild magic table.
Oh right. So I need to do 2 rolls
Yeah.
on the magic table.
No, it will just be. Oh, yeah, it'll be 2, and then I suppose we get to pick. Only one of them can happen.
Okay.
Do I get to pick?
You can pick if you want. That feels fair. Otherwise, I'm just going to pick the best one, aren't I? So,
Yeah, true.
so I'll roll 1 first. So that is an 18.
Oh wait, where's the wild magic
Which
table?
is you grow a long beard of feathers that remains until you sneeze, at which point the feathers explode out of your face.
No, wait, maybe both can happen. Should both happen? Because you've used more.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think
know.
so. Because you haven't used it enough. Yep.
Then the second one is 44, which is for
Temporary.
the next minute you can teleport up to 20 feet as a bonus action on each of your turns.
Yeah, okay, both can happen. Some of them are quite nice. Sweet. So Faywin, you see as you kind of clear some space and watch Faywin hold on to the shard, as you see it kind of sparkles. What a bit like the spell Fairy Fire, but way more intensely. Kind of starts to form out of the shard as this light she's just holding, as it poof, just pulses out, and it's kind of a bit like a flashbang effect. So as you like blink and turn back the first time, you just see Faywin now has a huge dwarven-esque beard of duck feathers. Could be.
Nice beard. Not quite as nice as mine, but nice.
And then as she does it again, poof, flashes. Nothing on her appearance changes, but Faywin, yeah, you can feel you have the ability to teleport.
We need to get back so Bob-Man can see this.
Yeah,
John
John
is
has
smiling. John likes it.
John's confused.
Yeah.
It suits you.
Through the next few hours, would you like me to roll to see if I sneeze? Can I be
I
like when we
think-
get back to the pub? Can I like look for some pepper or?
I think if you,
I
yeah,
think
I think
you
you will have to. You can try and make yourself sneeze, and you will have to roll to see if you are successful or not at the.
And you have to get a nat 20.
But how does Faywin know that she needs to sneeze to get rid of it?
Oh yeah, true.
Because I can feel it in my fey bones.
Feels itchy.
I will keep it for a while, but I would like to be able to roll to
Yeah.
get rid of it.
Oh yeah, you can try and make yourself sneeze, and we'll roll to see how successful you are in doing it.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I'll keep it for a bit and then I'll do it before I go to bed. As we're walking back, Saga's here and I was going to talk about scrying. That's upsetting. Otter, you said that you had the ability to scry. Is that right?
Yes, but not until morning.
Oh wow, you want somebody else to scry for you, huh?
Well, maybe he might actually do it, Saga. Should we not start this again?
I scryed.
Once.
I'll
And
scry
then
right
we
now.
won't.
Who are we scrying on?
Well, I'm not sure yet, but I just think it might be useful to know where Vex went if she's still alive. It feels like with Jeff, there's there's more going on there, and I feel like knowing where she is might help in uncovering that. You were there. Viper said that the circle.
Oh yeah, she's going to be in
spiders-
Allhearth with your brother.
Well, we don't know. You know, if she is there and they are more active, then perhaps she's still an active member of the circle.
Maybe the two of them are killing more people.
They wouldn't have done it if he was a good guy. I never liked Jeff.
Are you still tuned to the thing?
Perhaps.
Well.
Oh shit, I am. I feel like I was before, and he never said anything to me.
Maybe he just listens.
Taking his moment.
Maybe.
Maybe he's just picking his moment.
Maybe. And I never
Maybe.
liked him anyway.
Well, you said it
And
twice now.
if he does get Larry with me, then I'll just unattune and he'll just sit in the ring forever.
Well, he's picking your moment because he's realised you're a little brat.
He would have known that from day one.
Okay. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's fine. Yeah, I just think knowing where Vex would be might be useful. Yeah, that was it.
Cool.
Sure, I can do that in the morning. Or Zaga could do it now if he's willing.
It's not necessary. I mean, we can think about options, what might be best, but it's just good to know that you have that ability if we need it.
Sweet.
There's nothing else I want to do today apart from
Does,
roll.
does Zaga react to the duck feathers?
Gets hungry.
Does he
Not
try to
specifically
play with
to
the
the
chin?
duck feathers, just laughing at Fabian having a beard of feathers.
No, just with it being duck, whether he tried to eat a chin or something.
No, he doesn't
the-
really eat the feathers. He eats the
Yeah,
duck.
he's the meat. Does
If you might
make you
think
get
there's
a
duck
little...
meat underneath all that.
Yeah, you do realise it's been a while since you've eaten some duck, though. It's a bit like when you see a KFC advert and you think, oh, do you know what, I really could do it with KFC, actually. Sweet.
Is Bonbon still awake when we get back to? the
Well, I was
side
going
of
to
the
say, so you guys head back. Arta, was there anything you were looking to do? As Von is spending time in his room,
No, I
like,
don't think there was.
It's fine.
I don't know. I
don't have to.
No, there isn't. Nothing springs to mind.
Sweet. So yeah, Von, what do you do once you attune? You essentially would be sat in your room. Well, you probably don't feel like it's a long time, but you're going to have to spend at least an hour tuning in. You get the intelligence buff back from being in it, and then you are in a room on your own, filled with these thoughts about, what do you do? How are you going to kind of keep yourself? How are you going to keep this safe? How are you going to? They're going to want to take it. They're going to want to take this. Is powerful. Like they definitely want to kill you specifically, right? Didn't want them. So what if they turn on you? Like what if you become the thing you can't trust? And again, you can't trust anyone. Can't trust anyone.
And then you hear just what you need at this point. Bonbon, where are you? Come and look at this.
Oh yeah, because
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
So yeah, after you see
I
Fabian with the
stay in my room.
Zaga won't be deterred by that. He will come and start banging on the door. You gotta look at this. You gotta look at this. You gotta see what's happening to Faywin. Wake up.
It's pretty funny.
And Zaga will keep doing this. It will become obvious to Bonbon that he's not going away.
Yeah. He's just banging on the door constantly.
What do
Faywin's
you
got
want?
a beard.
You gotta come and look at Faywin. It's hilarious. Quick, before you miss it.
Can I? Have I got anything that I can cover? I mean, anything I can cover the headband with?
Put a towel on
It's-
your head like you just wash your hair.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got big antlers,
anymore.
right?
It's big antlers, yeah. The headband itself would have been just like normal. It would have sat just on around your head. You barely would have seen it. This thing is like much thicker and rides up and round. You essentially have got like tiefling horns now, but clearly a headband, and everybody saw the headband. So it's gonna be obvious at first glance exactly what you've got in your head.
Arthur won't notice. I'm just telling you in advance when he sees it.
Quick! You don't want to miss
When
it.
I say
quick,
everyone,
quick.
that's obviously what I mean.
I'm tired, Zaga. Leave me alone.
Oh, but you'll miss it. You gotta see it. Still banging on.
Uh-huh.
Faven starts looking for Pepper.
You can find Pepper in the kitchen.
Zag is turning the door handle now, assuming the door is locked.
Yes.
You, I suppose those that are more around, Fabian, you're going to be looking for Pepper anyway. Otto, you can see that, yeah, Zaga's knocking, and like as annoying as Zaga can be, and then like turning the handle, that it is a little bit odd that, like, at one point you would have been like, well, what could he possibly be doing in there that he hasn't just opened the door and said, shut the fuck up, leave me alone, wherever it is. Like, it is a bit odd how long Zaga's had to be there, and then trying the door, you hear the door go and the lock go as well.
You okay, Van?
I'm fine. I just need sleep.
Roll a deception check.
Oh, one of my amazing skills. Oh, that's actually a pretty good roll. 16.
16.
What do we roll against that?
If you think he is lying, insight.
No.
If you're passive,
Von has no reason to. Sorry, Otto has no reason to think Von's lying.
Zaga assumes he's having some special time in his work.
yes.
Fine, don't make a mess, but you're gonna hate yourself when you realise what you missed.
I mean, I had the same thought, but I wasn't gonna.
We were all thinking it. No one's gonna. No one wants to bust in because no one wants to see it. Nice, cool. So yeah, Von Stropping, you leave behind. Fabian, roll a luck check, just a d20.
15.
You find some pepper? Not a lot though. How do you try and cause yourself to sneeze?
Sort of put it just under my nose to try
Try
and make my nose itch. And
Can I walk in at this point, prestidigitation this Pepper away?
100%.
What?
I'll do that.
You can walk in and be like, oh, the fun one's being. Oh, see exactly what she's doing.
You don't want to do that. It'll make you sneeze.
I want to sneeze. Otter.
Right.
Otter, her beard is a bit bigger and better than yours, to be fair. And it's been of feathers.
But it's also hilarious.
It is also hilarious. Damn, Pepper's on the floor.
Faywin ushers Otter
Please
out
tell me
of
she
the room.
gets on the floor and snorts it up.
It's going to happen, but you're getting out of the room first.
Okay.
Faywin ushers him out of the room.
I say to Zaga, there's something up with these elves today.
Yeah, Von's like there's somebody
Today?
Faywin sniffing Pepper off the floor. Cool. Give me a Constitution saving throw, Faywin.
Oh, you're kidding me. 7.
7. You actually want to roll low.
Okay.
But not low enough, unfortunately. As you.
Oh,
You
not
saved
low
yourself
enough
from
with a
sneezing.
7.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. 5 or lower.
Well, I
Yeah.
rolled a 4 plus 3.
Oh,
That's 7.
yeah, 7. Well done. Wasn't a lot. It was only a little bit of pepper. It was from the floor. It's easy. It was easy to not sneeze because you didn't have that much up your nose. If you had more, then it would have been. Oh, so yeah, this is when you want to fail. It's like you're saved. You like you saved it because you rolled such a good Constitution saving throw. That's 7. Well, if you could find a better source of sneeze, DC would be lower. I mean higher. Therefore, easier to do. Either way, you're going to be having.
Does
sneeze for a while.
Faywin have hay fever?
The ranger that's really good in the forest has hay fever.
No.
Exactly. You've been on disadvantage for 2 years.
Surely the fact that they're feathers on my nose, that would be quite
They're,
ticklish.
no, they're a beard. It's just like a chin beard.
Yeah.
There's no moustache.
Oh, why wouldn't there be a moustache? I
Because
feel like there
they're-
should be.
That's
If
even
that would tickle
better.
your nose and then you'd sneeze. So it's just
You're not going to win this. This is just going to say that.
it's got to stay there for at least evening.
Can I try again before we all sleep? If there's nothing else people would do.
There's no more pepper. You snorted it all. Or put it on the floor.
Yeah, but there's other ways I could try and make.
Yeah, if you can think of another way, yeah.
Yeah. Well, looking at the light can make people sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
Or any other spices in the kitchen.
It's not a functional kitchen yet. When you think
Maybe
about it,
I'll
go for
ask
sleep.
John.
Just think about it, go for a little sleep.
I'm not. I
You gonna
don't
ask
want
John?
one in the morning.
You got to think quickly.
Maybe Zaga could suggest Phelan just goes to sleep.
No, I'm in
Good use
the
of
kitchen
spell.
on my own.
It's
Is there any talcum powder in the bathroom?
No.
Fabian would have it in hers for sure.
Would she though?
Yeah. Should
Talcum
I stick
powder.
a bit of talc?
No, Rain's back to be
no
earthy and
bathrooms.
dirty.
Yeah. It's a shared. You don't really bathe that often.
I do, just not out loud.
You can try if you want to waste some of your talcum powder.
How do you bathe out loud?
No, I don't know.
Well, I just don't tell you where I'm doing it because you might try and walk in on it or something. Weirdos.
Wow.
I don't think talcum powder makes you sneeze.
I think you should go and do it and do it live on stream.
Well, for a talcum
I don't even know what
up your
talcum
nose.
powder's used for, other than like
drying
patting on
yourself.
babies' arses.
Yeah, the dry. It's the moisture.
And I don't even know
Sucks up
why.
moisture. Sucks up moisture. Yeah, you can try, but I don't think it's very good. So the DC to get over it's going to be really, really low.
Or is it dusty outside the silent dagger? Like, you know,
It's cleaned
mud
up so-
dust.
Mud dust. You're really
You know,
pushing it.
like when you,
You
like
want
in
to
the
go
Wild
out
West.
in the evening and just sniff dust off the floor. You can try it all. I'm just
No,
saying.
I want to
that-
I want to kick the floor so it all comes up in the air. You know when you get like cowboys and there's like dusty
It's not.
floor.
Yeah, it's not like that. You'd have to go out to a super dry field. It's not been that dry.
I don't remember it.
I mean, we
raining.
keep it immaculate around here.
Bo's a consummate scientist. He likes to keep a nice, clean working area.
Right, I run to Bo.
Okay. Oh, I was really tired.
I'm covering my
Oh,
beard
it's bedtime,
with
sorry.
my cloak.
That's not going to work, but okay.
I'm doing it anyway. I'm doing it in real life.
He rolled a
I'm covering
19
my face.
perception. Hello?
Bo,
Why have you stuck feathers on your face?
I have not stuck feathers on my face. I had an accident with my face shard and I need something that's going to make me sneeze.
Good job. Good
Don't
job.
give her anything. Don't give her anything. Bonbon hasn't seen it. He's too busy having private time in his room.
He looks at you like, ugh. That's creeped me out. You want something to make you sneeze? Bright light,
Please.
sunlight? Oh, it's
Don't
the
give it to her.
night
Don't
time.
give it to her.
Pepper? There's some pepper upstairs.
I already used it and Otter made me
You-
drop it on the floor and I tried sniffing it from the floor and it hasn't worked, Bo, and I need help to sneeze.
Pepper is literally the only thing we've got to make food taste nice around here, and you threw it on the floor.
I know I dropped it and he prestidigitationed it. It's his fault.
That sounds like a problem. And he's like, I would suggest like tickling yourself with a feather, like pulling the beard around. Maybe does that help? Looking at the sunlight. It's not really my area of expertise.
Faywin storms off, runs to her room, locks the door,
Well,
sobs.
there's really a waft of air when you wiggle that thing. He goes back to work. He doesn't need to go to bed.
Zaga is downstairs laughing to himself, thinking she could just tickle herself in the nose with one of the feathers in her beard.
Yeah. Oh, easily. Cool.
Faywin cries herself into a long rest. May I press the button?
Nice. You go to sleep.
Yeah,
you
let's
can
have
do
our
that.
long
You
rest.
can have your long rest. Yes. So everyone can take their long rest or short rest. You can get a fairly early-ish night, so you can be up with the sun. So you can all push the long
Do I
rest
get
buttons.
my full HP back from the life drain or whatever it was? Because it got reduced. Not fair.
Yes, it's until a long rest.
Okay.
So you get your any temporary that was taken off by the ghost comes back on a long rest. Nice! As a fresh day comes round. Vaughn, did you sleep in the crown?
He slept in a mess.
These are happy tissues.
Would I have been able to? Would the voices have been too much for me
Would
to
you
be able
have
to
tried
get
to
to
take
sleep?
it off, or would you have tried to just keep it on you because that's the safest place to keep it?
I mean, if the voices tell me that I need to keep it safe, then I guess I keep it in the safest place.
Nice. Give me an intelligence saving throw.
That is an 11.
11. Cool. I will note that down. You just feel the same thing this morning. You wake up, you are glad that you've got it. You probably spend, you only have the 4 hours anyway, so it wasn't that long that you were out for. But yeah, you're glad that you still have it on there, and you are thinking, you are constantly just tossing over the plans of how to make sure that it's almost like you're doing the Batman thing. You're like, how do I make sure that I could take down the rest of the party if they turn on me? You spend a lot of time thinking about that in the 4 hours that everyone else is sleeping, except Fabian. As you all wake fresh in the morning, I need an IRL wee-wee. So let's have a quick wee break. And then we should come back for the morning. Think about what you are doing today. If there's anyone you want to see, spells you want to cast, visitors you want to try and find. But we'll take a quick pee break. Non-table. So, you, we'll take your long rests. You awake in the morning, bright and early. Here, Bo gets up and starts. Bo and Nick get up and start making breakfast and start cracking on. They are definitely to bed early and then early rise, especially in March time. The sun's starting to come up, getting longer days, so they are up with sunrise. Who would be up first?
Me, 'cause I'm trying to
Not
sneeze.
Zaga.
Nice. Cool. So yeah, Fabian, you are that actually works really well. You are up first. As you make your way downstairs, you can see the first thing, and Bo and Len will have brought enough provisions for themselves to survive. So there's big bags of oats. They will make porridge or stuff with, and there's a few smaller bits, but nothing fancy. They probably don't. Any meats they've got are dried meats. Any cheeses they've got there's small amounts of. Not much bread. They keep stuff that just lasts for a long time. They eat pretty frugally. So as you come down, they're starting to eat. Len immediately spits his porridge out, having gone to bed and missed the beard the first time round. As you notice that. But what you pick up with passive as you hear Len having a little giggle under his breath and Bo eating his porridge is the sound of excited children, a few children near the front door or outside the front of the building.
Have you opened a daycare next door or something? Why is there so many children around? Are they always here?
They're probably the families of all the people we've killed in our adventure, here to get revenge on us.
And that then does a light bulb moment, and Faywin runs to the door, covering her face, the
whole
bottom
face,
half
this
of
is a-
her
this is a
face.
big beard.
No, it works like that.
Oh, go on!
Roll
I
a
can't greet.
roll a sleight of hand.
Oh, piss off. 13.
You do a great job. As you run to the front door to open the door, covering, you
Yes.
open the door and immediately try and cover your face, then realise you have to stand like this, which looks odd. So it's up to you whether you want to greet someone.
No, I said with my cloak, so I'm
with your-
holding it across me like a vampire. Yeah.
That's not creepy at all.
Not in front of Zaga because he's still asleep, so he won't panic.
Zaga's still asleep. So Bo and Len I don't know. As you run to the door and open, you can see out the front is the small, portly, half-bald figure of Callan the cleric. As he is lining up children and trying to get them to come out, and you can hear him at the back end of going through some rules. You catch bits where he's again using where Arthur have ever said some stuff like the watch out loud. I'm not sure. But he's using this
I've
name.
probably said the quotes, but I've never said,
never said that outside.
the actual Watcher.
You can hear that he's using and he's referring to this creature, this character, the Watcher, and saying like, "Remember, kid, like when we're going into places and we need to look after us, the Watcher says that we should be polite to people that invite us into our homes." And you can hear him doing a few things as he hears the door open, as he startles and turns around and says, "Oh, he's Scottish, isn't he? Shit, 1 second. Hey, Faerun! Oh!" And he offers his hands out to give you a hug. He says, It's good to see you. We heard that you were back. I hope you don't mind. We brought the children some breakfast, if you don't mind." As he goes to give you a hug.
I will hug him.
As you are holding your... He gives you a slight stare.
I will side hug him with one arm. And just say...
It's not very polite, is it?
Don't look too closely. I've had a bit of an accident last night.
Is that what you say? Give me a... there's no such thing as like a shiftiness roll. Just give me a deception check. I suppose that's shiftiness. 12. He looks at you really weird. 100% insect try. Because you're like hugging him as you say you've had an accident and you're holding your face. As he's gone in for the hug and then kind of backs off a little bit and then catches sight of this beautiful beard of feathers. And he's like, "Oh, I mean, we could scare the kids with it."
You wanna do that?
And he's like, "Well, children, this is my friend Faerun here. And she said if you're all good, she'll show you a wonderful little surprise that she's been growing on her face. If you think my beard's impressive, wait to see." And he like looks towards you. Do you...
What is the reaction of the children? Do they look like they have hope in their eyes?
Roll a performance check.
What could possibly go wrong?
Please roll a
14.
14. That's pretty good.
That's good for me.
Fair. Most of them cheer. 2 of them cry. As he's like, "Oh, you're not going to win them all." As the rest of you that are asleep can hear the very loud sound of 2 children crying, and then just a general rabble that, again, you've been out in the forest for a few days backwards and forwards, but you've never heard like the jovialness of children running around, and it sounds like they're in the bloody pub. That's how loud they are. As he's like,
Saga will come downstairs complaining loudly, "Who let these bloody children in? Shut them up, I'm trying to sleep." What time is it?
Down, you can see kind of, it's early, yeah, it's not long after sunrise. He's like, "Well, to you, Faerun, you're like, hey, it's been, it was close. We were getting ready to leave. We're heading out again now that the Redvant is safe, but we were going to head north, and we just made sure to hang around and see if there was anyone else that needed to join us on our journey. We found a few new friends, haven't we?" And you can see there's a few of the kids that are a little bit sadder than the others, that way of putting it. But I told them that we'd have a nice little treat and come and get some breakfast and see the heroes of Redvant before we head out on our way. So yeah, if you have anything, it'd be great because I need to feed them before we get on the road.
Saga will see this rabble fart loudly and go back upstairs yelling, "Order! Order! Your dwarf dad's here!"
Nice.
I look out. I wake up with a fright, like it's a nightmare, and then what I want to do is I want to look out the window and judge whether I'd be able to jump.
You can definitely jump out the window. But do you want to?
How much it would hurt me?
Well, some amount, less than some of the things you've taken damage from, but it would hurt.
Only you could fly.
3 more levels.
Oh yeah, where's my Pegasus? Is my Pegasus chained up outside?
Your Pegasus is with the horses,
yeah.
with the hobgoblins, because we forgot about him.
So whether you want the Pegasus to stay outside, I mean, you would have an area to tie up horses outside the front of a pub, because that would have been standard. But you also could have easily left it, had them inside if wanted. But yeah, it wouldn't be out the. It'd be like on the corner.
Pegasus inside. That's crazy.
Why not? There's a bird inside all the time, shitting everywhere. Where do you think John poops?
Zaga's bedroom.
Perfect.
That's his
That
toilet.
explains the smell.
That makes
No, that's
full
Saga.
sense.
I'm going to sigh and then I'm going to come downstairs. Just to
Cool.
clarify.
So yeah,
In terms of provisions, Callan, we don't have too much down here, but if the kids want to make themselves comfortable in the bar area, I can check our rations upstairs and bring some down.
Bo's like, we've got loads of porridge. We can do porridge for you. He's like, porridge? And they're like, yeah. A few of them as they run down, as he grabs
They're
some stuff.
excited for porridge, really?
Yeah. Just the kids that want to eat.
Okay.
They do a lot of foraging when they're out on the road. It's not, Arta's upbringing wasn't the greatest. Like a free meal in with a seat sat down is like pretty fucking top dollar.
Okay. John will fly around trying to entertain them. Just doing his thing.
Arta, as you come down, you can see Callan's there. As he's like, the kids are all sat down, like pouring out. They're all making fucking mess because he's just letting them pour their own porridge, pour their own oats and milk, and it's going kind of a bit. It's a bit chaotic, and Faywin is trying to help whilst sporting a rather wonderful bird feather beard.
Can I do a stealth check to try and creep out without being seen?
Yeah.
Don't you have disadvantage?
I do.
I've got passive perception of 18, so I'm guessing I'll
So
see.
a 15 is my highest.
So you see him. I don't. Faywin, you definitely see as Callan is helping. I think he is pretty tied up. Let me just double check. I don't know if his passive perception is that high.
Regardless, I'm going to call Arta out anyway.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, Callan is sitting the kids down trying to help, and you can see that he like it's super hands off. Like what would be for someone that is like a clean freak or wants to step would be freaking out right now. He just is like laughing as they're like making a mess, and he's just like, whatever will be. It's kind of the attitude as he just helps them all get some stuff, make sure they've all got food, and that is where his attention
It sounds
is.
like a hobbit second breakfast.
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, just enjoying the moment, and then we'll sit down to pour himself stuff. As Arta, you see Arta come down the stairs. Last step just gives a little creak, and as you're going around and helping Faywin, you catch the sight of the red tiefling trying to sneak out.
Arta! Look, it's a surprise!
Yay!
Wow! As you see, a few
I thought he was banned for drinking too much and causing a ruckus.
Zaga?
Yeah. Callan looks around. Huh?
Ignore him, Callan.
worth
You're
a
always
try.
welcome.
I always
Always
ignore him.
welcome.
He always did have a strange little accent. Strange little accent? No, I have a strange little accent. He always did have a strange little sense of humour. Arta, my boy, looking stronger as ever. And he turns and he's like, so this is Arta. He is one of the heroes of Redvant. And if you listen to the Watcher, but in his... And oh yeah, what would you be wearing? Would you be wearing the... You are wearing the mantle, right? Just not attuned to it.
Yeah, I'm wearing the mantle, and I'm also wearing... I've also got the whip on my side.
So you would be, sporting the look of some of them as he goes through and explains, as of one or two of them, I should be like, is that? And he's like, well, see, if you listen to the Watcher and you follow his rules, you follow what I'm doing, and one day you could be just like Arta. And he looks at you and he kind of then clocks himself. He's like, who looks exactly like the Watcher. He's like, Arta, where did you get this? Did you make this yourself?
Did you not give it to me?
No, I gave you the stories and the knowledge of the Watcher, but no, I would have maybe planted the seed, but I didn't give you this cloak. As he goes and looks at it, he goes, it's magnificent.
Yeah, it's all right. And then I, trying to like not feel happy about it. I want to get my my cloak flowing, so the mantle also flows in the wind. Like,
yep. Give me a performance check.
if I do it with interpretive dance, can I get advantage?
Yeah, if you want.
No, it's fine. That's a 6.
Doesn't flow as well as you would hope. The kids are fully into their food. They didn't pay that much attention, unfortunately. They were amazed for a second and then remembered they had breakfast, and that was it, straight back to it. But he's like, it's good to see you. You're doing well. We are heading north soon, just to get ourselves as far away from the problems as possible. But I'm glad to see you're getting yourself right stuck into it. It's good to see you're really finding your path.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not to you.
I sit down at the table and have some porridge.
He'll sit down
Zach
next to
will
you.
come back downstairs again now,
Mhm.
burp loudly, ignore the porridge, and go straight for the section of dried meats.
Yep.
And snatch up most of Bo's dried meats.
Nice. As you go through it, Bo's like, "Come on, man, this is for everybody. I'll expect
It looks
payment
like
for
everybody's
that."
sorted.
Mm.
And then Zach will sit down at the table and turn to the dwarf and say, "Did I tell you he's been building temples?"
Kind of looks at you and says, "No, he did not. But we haven't caught up much. I'm sure he's going to tell me in time of all the ways that he is walking the righteous path. I'm proud of him, whatever he does. Building temples sounds strenuous, but I'm interested to hear, boy." As Bo kind of whispers.
A story for another day, not in front of the children.
Bo kind of under his breath towards you, Zag, and says, "You're lucky there's kids at the table, because that's very greedy. You've been a bit of a tart."
Zaga just shoots Bo away dismissively.
Cool.
Callan, before you, we have a couple of questions to ask you. Hopefully you can help. But before you do go, please don't forget we do have some rations that you can take with you to help with the kids.
And anything to help. We would travel as late as we can. We've got a long way to go, but anything you can give, we will be very grateful. Thank you, Fabian.
Who has the rations? Is it Bomb Bomb? Where is he?
Yeah, he looks around.
I
He's
haven't
like,
seen
"Where
him this morning.
Where is?" He's like, "I can see half of you, but the rest of you." So yeah, Otto and Von, the only ones missing from the table thus far.
May I ask a quick question?
Mhm.
As these children, and I don't mean this offensively, before anyone gets upset, as these children are wanderers,
Mhm.
are they a little bit smelly?
Wow.
Here we go again. Are you going to try and sniff one to sneeze?
A little bit, yeah.
I'm trying to smell a child.
You want to go stiff children?
No, like the stench of, you know,
Are
when
you trying to
like,
make
people
yourself
come in a
sneeze
room
by
and they're a
smelling a
bit
smelly
stinky.
child? You can try and smell a child.
This is very
Give
hag
me a-
behaviour.
Give me an investigation check and then give me a sleight of hand.
Oh, it's a 9 investigation.
Sleight of hand is the more important one.
I'm not trying to sniff them directly. It's more
Exactly,
a
that's what the
generic
sleight of hand is.
smell. 14.
14. You try and he's passive. You've literally finished with kind of saying, before you go, we got some questions. He's like, "Oh," and he's like, you still just a little bit got his attention as you lean over to one side and just your nostrils flare, and he kind of gives you a second glance and doesn't say anything because he's polite. With a 7, they smell like kids, not like overly grubby or anything.
It was a 9.
Was it 9?
Is it enough
Either
to
way.
make me sneeze?
No, of course not. A smelly child.
Just did like a weird
As
sniffing kids.
hag behaviour. Do smelly children. You've been watching The Witches. You are living your best hag life. That's a Roald Dahl thing you've just pulled from your brain. Clean children are stinky and disgusting to me because I'm a witch. I'm
I
willing
have
to
to
let
get it
you
from
roll.
somewhere, all right?
If you're taking the steps towards hagdom, maybe you could find smelly children. They're so clean that actually they smell disgusting to you.
Oh.
No, I can't steal that from Roald Dahl. No, but
Zach
kind
will
of
burp again loudly, having finished the stack of dried meats he had, and then he'll turn to Bo and just flick him 5 gold and say, "Get some better meats for next time we're here."
Ah, wow, look at him putting his hand in his pocket. I never thought I'd see it. I will do. Maybe next time give me less than 20 minutes notice that you're coming back and we will have
We
stuff
can be
for you.
here at any time. We can walk through trees.
Why do you want me just to keep buying meat?
Yes,
Well, then you're going to need to pay some more.
5 gold. That'll last you ages here.
Well, I don't know. You could be coming back at any point.
Is it normal gold or corrupted gold?
It's normal gold. I don't know if the corrupted gold is still corrupted.
You don't know.
I haven't checked in a while.
He's like,
If we have questions for you, Callan, I'm not sure it's always going to be suitable in front of the children, perhaps.
Especially if you're sniffing them.
For fuck's sake.
"Bah?"
Perhaps Bo could watch over them for a
He looks at you.
few months. Len?
I'm going to look at Faywing
he's
questioning that decision again.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Kat. We've got work to get on with. Before you guys leave, let us know. We've got some stuff to catch up on. Enjoy the breakfast. Zaga will get the meats next time. What does Zaga look after? He's an e-performer. I'm sure he can look after children. Bye. And
Or
Len
maybe
grabs
Arthur,
his porridge as he's still eating it and just fucking heads off downstairs.
Arthur, it may be good practice for you, if you want to follow in Callan's footsteps to look after.
You mean if I want to become a
children.
father? Nah, I'm alright.
I'm sure the kids will be fine. I mean, what they will have to see quite a lot being out on the road. So
Right. Before we do anything, Zaga, I need you to hide your crayons because they're going to come back here, and I don't want to come back to find them. They've drawn all over the walls.
see, a couple of them like crayons.
Oh, Faywin's the one with all the stationery.
Fama feels sick to the pit of her stomach.
He's like, it's fine. We'll eat and we'll be on our way. I'm sure we've got time for some questions. He's like, I don't want to push the matter, but Otter and Von Van are alive still.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, of
okay.
course. They're upstairs. Von Van went
Right.
to bed earlier. He didn't feel very well, I don't think.
Just making sure.
Don't you helps only needed like 4 hours sleep.
Yeah, did he not? Have you not seen him this morning? I've not seen him. I've been a little preoccupied as I pluck out a feather from my beard.
Ooh, that's painful.
2 more grow back.
Can't.
Hey kids, besides the beard, have you seen that she's got 6 fingers?
One of them immediately vomits their porridge up. Oh,
Wait, what beard?
Callum looks at you like, oh. I forgot what he was like. What questions do you have?
Is it okay to ask them in front of the children?
Probably what you're going to ask.
Can I sniff you?
Well, when a man and a woman love each other very much.
But that's fine.
It's
Sorry,
more,
when an elf and a dwarf love each other very much.
It's more around, and then under my breath, reincarnations.
He gives you like a strange. He's like, okay.
Yeah. Arta wasn't sure, so we tried to think of the best cleric we know, and thought you may be able to help. Is that the sort of thing that we can ask in front of the kids
I mean, who's
about,
dead?
like divine reincarnations?
He kind of looks at you mildly blankly. Who's dead that needs to be reincarnated? We don't. Mahatma doing. I mean, I'm not sure how much Arta has told you about the dwarven god of wanderers, but he isn't. He isn't into that kind of divine power.
No, he just has his people wander into somebody else's home and kick them out.
Who kicks
Ignore
out
him,
who's on
please,
his own?
Callan.
Okay.
You've known him long enough to know to ignore him. Not necessarily Mahatma Doon, but other deities. We understand that if they are forgotten and not worshipped, then they disappear from existence. But do you know of reincarnation and how that could be manifested, if it's possible?
He's like, you speak of the worst thing that could happen to a god, that all of their followers are gone, have left them. The god is wilting.
Forgotten.
Once a god is forgotten, God forbid that God, I suppose, ceases to not exist. It's not something I really study, and part of mine and Arta's remit is to ensure that Mahatma Doon has as many followers as possible, so that it doesn't ever become the case. But no,
Wait,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
Arta's supposed to be doing?
And
In time.
is
Otter will come downstairs at this point.
that how a god would die?
Well, I don't even know that a god can die. But if there is no one, I suppose, to worship a god, then how will its power ever be seen in the world?
Otar, good morning. It's Callan.
Hey, Colin.
Oh, here he is. She thought she told me you were dead.
No,
I did
no.
not.
Just need a good lay-in.
I'm afraid there's no meat. Bo and Len have been slacking.
I'll have to have a word.
Otar, I was just asking Callan about gods and reincarnations.
Is that something you have ever heard of?
Not something, as I've said to Faywin, not something we really teach how to kill our gods.
Not so much about teaching how to kill them, but is it something that's possible? If they die, would they come back, perhaps in a different guise?
I'm not even sure that a god can die. Like, what? I'm sorry. I don't think that I'm maybe the right person to be asking about this. This is.
We saw a temple in the forest. Obviously, some kind of worship for some god, I assume, but everything was defaced. There's no face. You know how you see in churches and religious spaces, effigies of gods and statues, but everything's just blank.
Whoa.
Is it possible? If a god dies, would come back?
Its name was scratched out everywhere too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And the face is defaced.
Oh, either someone wanted that god.
Religion of the forest, and this whole death bloom crisis, could it be some sort of god of the land wanting to strike balance with nature and have nature reclaim its space?
He as you're going through saying it, he's you can see that he is bewildered by the conversation a little. He's like, I honestly don't know. We know that a god's divine power and strength is built on its followers and having people believe, but if there are no followers, I assume the god cannot have its power in this plane. I have known nothing about trying to bring, if a god has lost followers, how you bring followers back. I assume it would be by some divine right. If I like I say, my faith is to expand the followers of Mahatma doing, not learn how to.
Well, if you're saying that's how potentially gods cease to exist with no more followers, are you aware of any peoples that are not around anymore? Any race of people or any settlers, anything like that? Could have disappeared from this world?
I mean, who knows? In the times before, there's hundreds of years have passed. I'm sure there's lots of small groups of people that have supported or not supported different deities, and the 9 sisters are the predominant faith of Ashling. But we know that there are so many more gods that are supported by the different species that live here. But I can't see, and if I were to know of these gods, then surely they wouldn't be forgotten.
Faywin looks at the stairs impatiently, seeing as Von Van hasn't come down, and sends John up to knock on his door relentlessly until he wakes up.
Okay.
Can
like
a
woodpecker.
bird knock on a door?
Woodpecker.
Yeah, he's got a beak.
It's irritating for everybody. Von, you can hear a conversation. You can definitely hear the kids. It's loud. You can hear there's a ruckus of people downstairs and conversation happening, but not enough to make out. And then you just hear the with incessant tapping on the door.
It reminds you of Faven pecking your head.
You know exactly what it is.
Yes, I'm awake. I'm coming.
He says to the
Assuming
bed.
that John will stop tapping.
Yep.
No. Not quite as often. He'll give it a break, and then when you haven't opened the door, he will knock
Starts
again.
again.
I will open the door. As I open the door, I will wild shape into a cat.
John
I need
absolutely
John.
belts it downstairs.
Nice. As the door opens, and then you hear the slight magical noise of a spell or a feat being used, a ability being used, and a cat appears, making its way downstairs.
Do the kids notice the cat? I bet they'd love to play with a cat.
Perlithale. How many HP does a cat have?
2.
I would say, uh-oh. Yeah, as you come down, start to make your way down the stairs, or down the banister of the stairs, I suppose, you will see, the table laid out, just this, there's probably 8 to 10 kids. No, maybe not that much, only maybe 6 to 8 kids. And the rest of the pie there, Faywin with a beard of feathers, and Callan sat there having this conversation, kind of flanked by Faywin and Otter.
Good morning, Bonbon.
I mean, he's a cat. You notice him?
Yeah, we've seen him as a cat before. Why are you a
Could
cat?
just be a random cat. Are you saying that all cats are Bonvan?
So
What
the
was
cat's
the-
look the same. What's wrong?
John's
I
just
won't-
run
I won't
downstairs
acknowledge.
scared.
I won't acknowledge being called.
Mhm.
I just will wander around the room a bit.
Well, if it's not Bonbon, then maybe we should put it outside.
Hey kids, there's a cat. Go play with it.
They kind of look towards Callan. He's like, finish your food first, then maybe we can talk about.
Don't feed it too many treats. We don't want it getting. Actually, it's not our cat. Do what you want. Treat it. This might be. We don't know how old the cat is. It should enjoy life to the fullest.
Are there any open windows?
No, Faymon didn't think the thing smelt enough. Let me just close the door a
Only I
second. I've
could
got fucking.
There goes your beard.
cast wild- If only I could cast spells in wild shape form.
Speaking of wrangling animals.
I just love to see Herb chasing Bon around the room.
Thought I lost a dog.
After you sneeze, your beard fell off.
Because you sneezed, can I have sneezed?
You saw she didn't get tar and feathered.
You need to have hay fever. Ah, there we go. Sorry. So no door, no windows open.
Okay. I will just wander
Milling
towards
around.
one of the other rooms downstairs to be away from the kids.
Roll a dexterity save. I just rolled that 20. Kids are gonna
Yeah.
follow you. You're gonna have to run. Yeah.
Wild shapes into a bear.
you see Von. A few of the kids jump up and like leap, like go into hunter mode as they're starting to leap before you. You hear Von like wow, just, like dart off quickly. Again, being super shifty. As that happens, Cannon's like, no, guys, come, everybody. Remember what I said. Remember what I said. The Watcher is always watching, and how we must act around. And he's like, this isn't going to work. He's like, we'll be getting on and leaving soon because this is only going to get more out of hand. And yeah, I'll let you guys get on. Is there anything else I can help you with that's maybe not so
What's the cat doing?
existential? Running.
Like running aimlessly around the room, just trying to avoid the kids.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Zagger is annoyed by the cat and all of the movement in the room, and he's going to cast Dissonant Whispers at the cat.
Oh, that's a damage dealing spell.
Gonna let the cat give
Does it damage either way?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's 3d6 psychic damage, so technically.
Well, so
you
I
could
definitely will
survive.
drop form then.
Well, no, because if I roll 3 1s
Is it not plus
and it's
anything?
half damage,
So you
would
need
be
to roll
one
3
for
ones. I need to pass the save.
Yeah.
It's the only way I keep form.
yes.
What save
But
is it?
Zagger's just trying to scare the cat away, like back
Mhm.
upstairs or
Yeah.
something, the way it came in.
What save is it?
Wisdom.
I would assume.
Do I keep? I don't keep keep mine in?
Yeah, you keep your mental stats in wild shape.
Nat 20.
Yeah, nice. Still half that.
There's a plus 10 as well, so I actually rolled
Oh.
a 30 on that.
I rolled 113 on damage,
Oh.
so it's 5 of.
Nice.
So I drop out of cat form,
Drop out of cat form.
and I don't have to run away, do I? Because
No, you don't have to roll it.
No, because you saved. So yeah, as you drop out of cat form, you like clatter. Oh shit! I need to drop dice. Clatter into like the side of the bar as the two kids that were jumping to get you just like bounce off your knees. As you hear one of them just look back and goes, "Whoa!" As Von is sat on the floor, looking like Von, but with
Why
a
were you a
beautiful
cat?
crown on.
I'm assuming he has the
He has
crown.
yeah, he has the crown on. Yeah, you can see the horns.
just
I'd just give him a nod look.
Yeah.
fancied something different this morning.
When have you ever
Steve.
wanted to be a cat?
You've seen me as a cat before.
Is
You
he
said it
serious?
yourself a minute ago.
Yes, but not in the morning before you've even greeted anyone. Anyway, Callan's here.
Look at the beard. Look at the beard. I was trying to tell you last night.
Alright, cover it up.
You can see the beard.
Your hands aren't big enough to cover that up, but I don't know
With
what
a
it
cloak.
is. Why do they keep saying you have a beard?
It's nothing. I use a cloak to cover it. Any other cleric questions we want to ask Callan?
No, but apparently, Barman, you got to give them some of our rations because Faywin's giving stuff away.
Yes, they're
Hello?
about to travel.
I'll ask Khan if he can teach her how to heal.
Oh, no. The path that we all take different paths when we follow Mount Doing, and the path that Arthur takes is the path that he leads himself. He will find the power within to support our deity in the way that the god wants. And he looks at him and says, and in that cloak, I think our god has chosen the way he wants him to help out.
Mm.
He will go and grab two of the kids that are sat near Von, though, as you get yourself to your feet. And will give you a slightly strange look, Von. I'm just trying to think. No. Okay. Yeah. As like he notices the crown that's kind of like on within your head, and the way you like sprawled out and look as you get up. You can see he just gives you a second glance as he grabs the kids and he's like, "Come on now, we'll finish up and then we'll head on our way. We'll let the heroes get on to the hero business." That's not Scottish, but close enough. So is there
Can I
any-
do a perception check to see if Faywin's going to have a breakfast and a beard?
Yeah? Trevor hasn't eaten anything yet, I don't think.
Nope.
So it's probably pretty clean.
14.
Okay,
What would I
I'm
even
leaving now.
roll that for?
We didn't eat anything, so there's nothing in there. Sometimes things just don't exist. Callan, pretty wise, picks up on the vibe in the room. It's like, oh, okay. So we'll be getting on now. If there's nothing else, good luck in everything you're going to do. And he's like, oh, and he comes over to you, Arthur, and just says, hey, boy, you're doing a really good job. I can see you're finding your way, and you seem very powerful. Is there anything you need from me before we leave? Arthur.
In a shock to everyone, I'm going to attempt to give them a hug.
Mm-hmm. Nice. There's no attempt. He's here 100%.
It's going to be quick. It's going to be very formal,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm going to give him a hug.
Nice. Do you give him
Just and I'm gonna say quietly in his ear during the hug. I'm gonna say, if I don't make it through this, look after yourself, old man.
He'll have a little chuckle and he says, "You look after yourself," and he'll cast aid on you. So it gives you
Not HIV, aid.
no, not AIDS, aid. Drop the S. You get 5 extra hit points for 8 hours.
Doesn't aid affect multiple people? Is he only cast it on Arthur?
Yeah, of course he is. You've got a bunch of fucking weirdos. One of you's got a feather beard, one of you's burping loudly, and the other two, and one's got a weird crown, and then he was grilled about his existential gods and what happens if gods die. I'm pretty happy that he would probably give it just to Arthur.
No one has any other cleric questions that they'd like to ask
He's going.
before he goes?
He will, Arthur as well, say to you as he casts this and goes on, and you kind of like make the joke. He's like, "Hi, but I can see that you're, yeah, I know. I can see that you're starting to find your way. Keep on the path, and you'll find." He says, "That mantle suits you. Spend some time with it."
Yeah, where's the rest of it?
He's like, "Aye, it'll come when it's ready." He's like,
Disgusting.
"Divine magic."
See you later.
Like that.
I give him a pat on the back, and then I go to leave.
He goes to like grab the kids and like get them out, get them sorted, tidy them up a tiny amount. As he's like, "So we'll be heading off. I see you guys have got stuff to deal with. It's been really good seeing everybody. If there were provisions, that would be great. If not, we can be on our way. Obviously, happy with any to help anything. But you seem like you've got some stuff going on."
Lovely to see you, Helen. Thank you for popping by and best of luck. One man, can you give him some rations, please, for the children?
I will hand over some rations.
Mm-hmm.
How many have we got?
That's fine. You can come off after. Yeah, he'll take some bits. He won't take a huge amount anyway. I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, he's only a little man. He doesn't need to eat that much.
Got a lot of children with him. Do wanderers need money?
No, not really. They find stuff. He also probably has spells to keep them pretty safe.
How many children are there?
About 6 to 8.
He can make for
Feed them all.
1 spell slot a day. He can make like enough food to feed 30 people and enough water.
If they get really desperate, you can just sell one of the children.
Not this again.
Can I give the children all 2 gold each as pocket money?
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot. Of money.
That's like enough to feed a regular peasant. For...
They'll be
Yeah,
buying
2
2 what,
years.
2 gold?
Yeah.
Yeah. Callan's
That's like 2 years of feeding.
I mean,
Like, when Bo complained about the 5 gold I gave him for me,
yeah,
he was actually being really bitchy.
he was taking a piss. Yeah.
That's a lot of meat.
I
money.
thought that wasn't a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
I'm rich.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 gold each?
Even that's quite a lot, but yeah. As Callan sees you doing it, he's like, "Oh, children, make sure you look after this. This is very, very important. The most money you've probably seen
No.
in your life."
You give them 2 gold and you take 1 back.
No, because I didn't
Here's what
understand
you could
the
have won.
value
Yeah.
of money.
Wow.
Typical
I
Feywin,
don't
coming
understand
from
the
money,
value
not
of money.
understanding
I'm a
the
rich
value
elf.
of money.
You can give them however much gold you would like, but yeah, a gold piece is pretty good.
Okay, we've all got a gold piece.
Like a
Like,
knight-
I
a knight's
understand
stay is a few silver.
Your notion of value has been warped by adventurer item prices.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate, you've got 15,000. So why
Yeah,
am I
I'm
supposed
super
to...
rich.
This is what I mean.
Mm.
I was looking, I was like, oh, I think that's probably not enough, looking at how much gold I've got.
No, it's fine. They'll take it, and he'll tell them to make sure they look after it. As Callan and his wanderers pack up, have some food, and head out. They leave a real freaking mess at the table of bowls, spoons, poured oats everywhere, milk spilt. Yeah, bits of sugar left over, some sticky sides.
Prestidigitation at all.
Yeah, just clean up as they head out and start to head north, leaving.
Why did you clean up? Bulge could have done that later after we've gone through the tree again.
Well, just mess it up if you want.
Zaga kicks over some sugar.
Nice. Now you've got ants.
And then looks back at Bonbon and says, "So why were you a cat?"
He doesn't like
On
children.
your head.
What's what?
You put the thing on your head.
Oh, you know, I thought it thought it suited me, but I mean, it's not as great as that beard that Faywin's got, right?
Yes,
right.
good beard.
What beard? Why do you keep talking about beards? And hats?
It's going to be like at the
With-
end of the campaign.
with them
we realise
mentioning-
Arthur's blind.
With them mentioning the hat,
Yep.
can I? I guess I'm still back by the barbell, right? So
You
can
are?
I kind of
Oh.
try and grab the wand of enemy detection out of my bag and see if it's reacting at all?
Yeah. Are you attuned to it?
Oh, it does. Oh, fuck, it is human, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah, because it kicked off the first time, didn't it?
Clearly
Just for
first time,
itself.
But yeah.
Okay, never mind then. Never mind.
And Zaga has forgotten about the hat now, has been reminded about the beard. He's just
Mm-hmm.
giggling to himself.
Farin is staring at Wombat. Very intensely.
So, what we moving on then today? Back to the forest.
Yes, I need to send a message to my dad before we leave. Still staring at Wombat.
Are you gonna ask him how to remove a beard?
Ha ha, very funny. Still staring at Wombat. Does Wombat pick up on this intense stare?
I think he's
Bit
probably
hard
used to it
not
by
to.
now.
I think everyone's picking up on the intense there.
Yes, Fabian.
Did anything happen when you put that headband on Von Van? Because I have to say it looks a lot like we all saw the Death Bloom, right?
Yeah.
It looks an awful lot like the antlers of the Death Bloom.
And Zaga turns back around and is like, "Oh yeah, when I've had the visions, you do look like the Death Bloom."
I didn't see it before, but yeah.
Well, I think the crown suits me. I don't think it would suit anyone else.
Insight.
Mhm.
Oh, it was nearly a nat 20. 17.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
What do you mean it wouldn't suit anybody else? I asked, did anything happen when you put it on?
Put it on, and I feel no different than I did before.
You know it gives you the intelligence boost. You know it makes you more powerful. Yeah, it's not like you're just like, hey, this is a fashion
It
choice.
felt the same as I did when
Yeah.
I put it on before.
You are stronger with it than you are without it.
So you said you don't feel any different than you did when it was just a band of intellect.
Giving me the exact same boost it gave me before.
So
I
nothing
mean,
happened.
Why are you asking so many questions about it?
When was the last time that a suspicious artifact that someone wears has caused problems, like, say, a book that can't leave your hand, or a dragon mask, or a...
Since when do people wear books?
Yeah, you can't wear a book.
Tell that to Otter, when he couldn't get rid of the book.
I wasn't wearing it.
You were wearing
didn't
it in
let
your
go of
hand. It
it,
was like
though.
a glove.
I'm like a glove.
I hate to say it, but I agree with Arta, which is why I'm being so curious about it, Bonban. We saw what happened when we tried to take the book off Otter. In fact, you were the person that felt the full effect of that.
Wait, is there a dragon in that hat now?
There
We
is
do.
no dragon in the hat. It's fine. Hat's mine. None of you need the hat.
Well, can one of us try the hat?
Is it your precious?
Why'd you want the hat so much, Faywin?
Zaga edges over to Arta and whispers, "Get ready to hold him."
But I think he's better at old person than you are.
Van's got his crown. I've got my book. Zaga's got his gold.
And that's my concern. I'm really trying to not. I'm trying to be in character, which is why
You've got your sixth finger. Why are you complaining? You've got your own
and
cool
your
thing.
beard.
What beard? And I've got, and I have a think, and then twiddle my mustache.
Where is Von in relation to me right now?
Not far. So I'd say you're all like downstairs where you've got a.
Is he within reaching distance?
You could move to be within reaching distance if you want. We're not in combat, but we could roll for combat if you want.
No, I just wanted to kind of sort of, like they tried to take the book from me. I just wanted to sort of reach for the crown.
Yeah, it'd have to be contested, so you could lunge for him.
It wasn't so much. I wanted to want to lunge so much more of a kind of, I say, sleight of hand, I guess.
You're trying.
While
very
Fabian's
hard to
asking
do.
questions, you could try and sneak behind him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially, kind of pretend I'm just getting up to him, and then I just want to test out how he reacts to it, like I reacted to the book.
Yeah, I think
Fabian's
you'd
line
have
of
to.
question is just that it looks like the death bloom, which is why she's asking.
Yeah.
That's not how it feels to Von, though. It feels like you want the hat.
Oh god, no, yeah, because Von's a psychopath, but that's not.
What?
Just
Well,
for the.
I just want to try something. I'm just gonna make you aware now. If this is the same sort of effect as my book has on me, and I kind of reach my hand out towards his head.
I will instinctively dodge out of the way, or try to dodge out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and grab it. I'm just want to that reaching out kind of.
Yeah, if you're reaching out
I want
to
to
you
test the waters kind of.
Yeah, it'd be very, very difficult to try and from where you are now to be like, I'm just gonna slowly sneak around behind you and grab that.
Yeah,
You'd
it
have
was
to
more
roll
kind of
for it, yeah.
that's the reaction I wanted. He kind of backs away.
Yeah.
Why do you want the hat so much?
I don't want the hat. It's just he seems to have the same reaction as my book has to me. So we'll just leave it at that.
I mean, I'd be upset if someone took my pipe. The pipe I haven't mentioned
Arthur
or
understands.
referenced in 2 IRL years.
I more than anyone understand. I know what that book is for me. I just wonder if you know what that band is for you.
Made for me. It fits me perfectly. It's my hat.
Okay.
What could possibly go wrong?
Well, I mean, my book gives me powers. Well, one of the things that gives me powers. Maybe
Yeah,
there's
one of the things, Otar. Are you forgetting the last few weeks and all of the nonsense that came from?
not at all. I'm just saying maybe this is what's happening to Von. At least we know what to look out for.
True. What could possibly go wrong when he's wearing a hat that looks like the death bloom that is killing everything? My
You
favourite
are, all,
gets
you are all there for me. I will be there for Von.
It's just as long as he doesn't try and eat any people.
Yes.
Why
'cause
would
he
I
do
try
that.
eating people?
Fabian gets up to go.
Where are you going?
To her room. She's going to
Oh,
message
okay.
her.
I will go grab some food and eat.
When
In the
Fabian
corner
go-
with my back to the corner so no one can get behind me to try and get the hat.
I say to Von, it's all right. She's gone upstairs now. It's going to be a bit easier. But, you know, I'm going to be there for you like you were there for me.
Do I hear
And that
any
makes
of
me
the
think of a
voices?
song.
Yeah. You even hearing that, there's still part of you that whilst it sounds reassuring, there's always a part that you're like, that's what I would say to get close to steal the thing as well. Yeah, the best way I would describe it, you don't actively think they're coming for you. That whole series would have been very triggering for like, well, if you don't want it, why the fuck do you keep talking about it? We didn't speak about this headband for weeks, and now what is a big problem? So it would build your paranoia more. I don't think you'd actively be doing anything against them necessarily now, but it's a bit like the Batman plan. Like, you are constantly thinking of different ways you could take them down, or how you'd have to take them down if you had to take down each one of these party members. If it came to that, that's what you always have that plan in mind. Like, at every fight now, it'd be like, well, if I needed to, this is how I would have to put them down.
Otter turns back around and gets on and eat his breakfast.
Yeah. Nice. So what's the plan, Stans?
I think we have to go back through the tree today, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Faven wants to message her dad. So.
I've got it ready.
Yep. Oh, wait.
For Dad?
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Do I want to put this? I'm going to put it all in the same box, so I've got one box to go back to. Yep.
Okay. For Dad, because my mum's got the stone.
Yep.
Can manifestations of forgotten deities, is that how you say it,
Yep.
be felt in real world? How? Which races are no longer around? Any druids in our immediate family? Can you tell that I'm just trying to get it all in? That's 25 words. I can type it if easier.
No, I'm writing something else. No. I think you're... it's so hard, actually, because you'd be passing it off. I think your dad would have prepared some stuff, so your mum or dad, whoever it is, would respond back to say that they've got those questions. Straight away would answer about, no, there's no druids. And there's not a lot at all written about what happens to a god. And then, he has very little on what happens when a god dies, other than the stories and folklore. So the only thing he's been able to find is folklore stories about when gods have no followers, their divine power cannot be felt on the material plane anymore. But nothing about where they might go on to other planes.
Okay.
He then asks for as much information as possible on the facts you do have about the Death Bloom, which he can then use to cross-pollinate. So the first time you looked for the Death Bloom, he pulled out everything you have on the Death Bloom, which was a plant, a manifestation of a plant, like a mutation of a plant, that this thing clearly sounds a bit different than that. So he's like, maybe we need to reclassify what exactly it is, because you're asking a fuck ton of questions about gods and stuff, which was so far left field of what you'd originally got information on. So he says you'll be better giving him all the information you have on the Death Bloom, as much about the creature, the Death Bloom that you have fought and the characteristics you've seen. And from that, he can backwards. He can go, well, based on these filters, maybe it's this thing. But in terms of the questions about what happens, all we can get is folklore stories that essentially say that God's divine power is no longer felt in the material plane when they have no one that is there to believe them.
Okay. Thank you.
Which kind of makes sense. The more you go around it, the more it makes sense. Like, why would you publish the rules about what happens if people don't follow you anymore? You're not going to tell people. It's like the Death Star. They're not going to go, oh, you know what? If you just shoot us in this valve, we'll blow up. you want to be like, no, look, we can blow up planets actually. So even if they rule by fear or rule by love and divine power or rule by whatever it is, blessing crops, however they rule, they concentrate always on the benefits they're given. They're never going to be like, what happens if they don't have the benefits? It's not really a question. So you'd have to find someone that is looking at it objectively. I'd say that's what you'd pull from
Folklore
Callan
thing
as well.
makes sense.
Yeah, if you're like, if you get too in depth with someone in a conversation about religion, it always comes down to belief, right? It doesn't come down to fact, it comes down to belief, which is exactly how divine power works. If you question too much and go down the rabbit hole, you are granted power because of belief, not because of a fact or something you can see. But yeah, he would ask you to get him as many details as you can on the Death Bloom as the creature, as the thing that you've encountered multiple times now. And from those characteristics, he will work on to find out as much information he can, working backwards from there, rather than these spot questions that you've got. He can see that you've gone. You started asking about plants. You're now asking about gods. That is too far of a distance shift, which means he misdiagnosed, or you guys misdiagnosed whatever it was at the beginning. So let's take the characteristics and re-diagnose what we've got. So he's going back to like, give me information and I'll pull information. Oh. Sweet. So you get that back from your dad, get a little bit of information, but then it gives you a quest, or not a quest, an ask himself, a help me help you situation. What is the plan for the day? Back through the tree?
One question about with the thing telling me to protect the forest.
Yep.
Is it suggesting or showing anyway what protect the forest is? Is it saying what we've been doing is going against protecting the forest, or is it just saying protect the forest, not actually highlighting? So it's kind of up to my interpretation of what protect the forest is.
Yeah, you are not being given tasks. This is not. You're not being like spoken to. Whatever is speaking into your mind is just telling you. Yeah, in individual decisions, you might find that you can at that point question what the right way is, but it's not be like, 1, go to this place, 2, do this thing. It'll be like in the moment. It is asking your actions to continue the spread of the Death Bloom, to continue the cleansing of the forest and the protection of what is there.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not giving you a list. It's not a communication device. You're not hearing thoughts. You are hearing your own feelings being fed back to you. You're not hearing a separate voice like the same way when Zaga ate the meat and it was like, oh, you're getting a premonition. It doesn't even sound like when the owlbear was speaking to you. This is your own thoughts. Your own mind is coming up with this paranoia. Your own mind is coming up with the plans. Your own mind is telling you this.
Can I speak to Bo, please?
Yep.
Bo, I'm gonna ask my dad to do a little bit of research.
He immediately like flashbangs you with a light as you walk down there. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
What? 1 second. Sorry. 19.
19. Damn. He tries to surprise you into sneezing, but you like, whoa! You manage to fight it off, and it doesn't cause you to sneeze. He's like, damn, I was thinking about the best way of catching you out. I thought, quick flash, like look into the light, and then if I catch you with it quickly, maybe you'll sneeze, but clearly you are not so easy to startle. He's like, I'm out of
Thanks
options.
for trying.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm worried this might be my forever form.
I mean, it's unique.
Yeah, I hate it. Thank you for trying. That really did catch me off guard, but apparently not enough. My dad, I'm getting my dad, he works at the library.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting him to look some things up. I think it might help with Deathbloom knowledge.
Yep.
We are kind of looking at different paths as to what this might be, where it's coming from. It may be that the information the druids have that you've already given them might be useful to him. I've only got a sending stone. It's 25 words. It's not the best way of passing information. But I'm worried if the druids contact my dad that he might then be put in danger, or they might, I don't know, name drop him somewhere. And obviously he works within the Commonwealth, and I don't want him to get in trouble for looking things up. We don't know the Commonwealth's involvement in the Deathbloom stuff.
He'll be like, oh no, the Commonwealth are working like tirelessly to find out what's going on with the Deathbloom. It's, I don't know what seemed to have changed or moved there, but it seems like their whole attention is being put on fighting and protecting themselves. He's like, they've been working hard to build, from what Grom's telling me, their defenses are built up. They are waiting for the druids to tell them what the plan is from the spread and how far it's coming. But it seems that all resources are being thrown into Deathbloom research. So I'm not surprised your dad is working on it. I think he'll be working. He would be put to work on it, I'm sure.
I think it's more he's looking things up for me. I'm not sure he's been instructed by the Commonwealth to look at things.
He'll be like, well, maybe check. From what the last missive I had from Grom was update on where you guys are and what was going on, but it looks like Allhearth is going into lockdown to protect himself from the spread, although we've told him it's not coming overland, it's probably coming underground. Their whole armed forces, they are barricading that city ready to defend itself after what happened in Redvant. So I'd be surprised if he's not working, whatever he's working on for them is useful to you. So, but yeah, I mean, check.
Okay. Is Grom trustworthy, Bo? And I mean that in the least horrible way. If we were to ask him to speak to my dad on more of a subtle basis, do you think that he would do that?
He's like,
Not really.
Probably not. Like, he's trustworthy. He heads up all of the Druid order, but the Commonwealth and the Druids, they work together when they need to work together, shall we say. I don't think Grom is walking around the halls of the Commonwealth just having chats with people. So I'm sure that he would be going through official channels rather than turning up trying to have secret chats. We keep it very civil between the Druids and the Commonwealth.
Okay. Is Grom an elf?
No, Grom's
No.
Half orc.
no, he's like a freaking
He's a Goliath,
Goliath.
isn't
He's massive. He's like a half giant. Well, not quite half giant, but what are the giants now, essentially?
Have you suddenly lost any sort of trust in him because he's not an elf?
It was more like he could subtly go around for tea as like elven high tea and have a chat with them.
Well,
But
because-
Goliaths
Goliath
don't
can't.
drink tea.
I don't even know what
They
Goliath
could,
is.
it's what the end point of giants are now. So they're
Okay.
they're about 8 or 9 foot tall, up to 10 foot tall.
I thought that was a fireboard.
Furbolgs are very similar as well. They're also like giants when they have come down in size have gone one way into like Goliaths and the other way into Furbolgs. Furbolgs are fairy versions of Goliaths.
Okay.
And
Let
then
me
more
let me
nature-based.
have a chat with my dad, but that might be something that. Do you think that it would be possible if you think that's the right thing to do?
Maybe. I'm not sure Grom's like a go round to your mum and dad's for dinner sort of.
No, I mean even
Person.
through the official channels.
I mean, I need to know what the objective is. It's a weird thing. You're asking if Grom's going to go around to your parents and have afternoon tea. I don't think he's going to do that. But if he needs to ask questions, I think they're all working on this Deathbloom together. Grom is. I mean, Grom's eggs are in your guys' basket. You are our plan. I'm assuming you told him you fought another version of the Death Bloom when you came back?
I said it over the sending stone
Oh, okay,
beforehand,
yeah, good.
didn't I?
Yeah. So he's like, we have gone back, or I've gone back to Grom to say you have had another interaction with the Death Bloom. So the Fireboy, the Ember Druids, definitely did not kill the Death Bloom that they had been reporting. So that went back to Grom. But all Grom's knowledge is coming from you. You guys are his plan for dealing with the Death Bloom. So that will be being reported back to the Commonwealth by official channels. But yeah, I need to know what the objective is. I don't think we would be sending Grom round to your parents for afternoon tea.
Fine. Forget it.
Okay, I mean, it's your idea, but yeah, you forget it.
Here's Bratwin.
It's like, can you send the Archbishop of Canterbury round to my parents, to my nan's house for dinner, please? So, you can probably send the local priest, but yeah, it's the scale of what you're asking. But he has told you that your dad should be working on Death Bloom stuff anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, cool. So you guys heading back out into the forest? Updates for Grom? We've killed a Death Bloom again, but it keeps coming back. Weird. Any other things you want to update me on?
Have you seen Von Van's hat?
Have I seen Von Van's hat? It's not quite what I was going for when I was asking for updates.
Oh, it's just that it looks awfully like the Death Bloom.
Cool.
The antlers. We told you about the antlers before, right?
I mean, probably your guys' dissemination of information is interesting.
Yeah, pretty
You
poor.
don't really, yeah.
Did Von
Weird.
Van tell you how he came about the hat?
Honestly, I don't know what you're talking about. You've just told me Von Van's got a hat when I asked you for more information about Death Bloom, so...
Because it's related, Bo. Don't get sassy with me.
Wow. Sounds like you're being sassy with me.
Have
It's
you
related.
seen
So why
it?
is
a real
why is Von wearing the Death Bloom's hat?
Well, we went to these ruins. There was a space for a thing, for a hat-shaped thing, and then he put on the hat, and it just has these big antler things, and it looks very similar to Death Bloom.
Okay, so
Well, I just mean because you haven't seen the Death Bloom yourself, right? So that's a good indication of what it looks like, is those antlers, the
yeah.
twisted
But what you're
twigs.
saying is, Von Van is, you went to a ruin, a hat was created, and Von Van's now wearing that hat in an area that the Death Bloom was seen, or you encountered this Death Bloom. Yes?
Yeah.
Cool, and that's... And he's acting weird? I'm assuming so, right?
He's always weird.
And this ruin...
He's been
What was the ruin? The ruin was...
of a forgotten god, it seems.
Okay, cool. Right, so Von Van's probably got some kind of
Curse?
Yeah. Well, oh wait, we're already there. Sweet. So why are we letting Von Van run around with the cursed hat on?
Well,
we
I'm not,
seem very chill about what's going on. Literally
No.
upstairs right now.
I'm not chill at all.
Well,
Are you not sensing from my
You called
tone?
it a
No one else
hat.
seems to care.
You called it a hat.
It is
We
a hat. I
need
can't
to
remember
get
the word circlet.
that curse removed because
Yes.
that is a direct link. If you've taken something that was in a place of divine magic that
Yes.
that transformed and then you've put it on your head,
Yes.
that is
Yes.
some way going to be linked. That's never going to be good. Why has
I
that
know.
happened?
I know.
He's
But
like,
he
"Oh my
gets
God,
all
oh my
funny about it, and no one else seemed to really care. Everyone agreed
Sweet.
it looks like the Death Bloom, but he didn't want to take it off. And then when I asked him any questions, he started getting all sassy with me, thinking I was trying to loot him, and I wasn't.
Okay, we need a plan to. Who has the ability to remove curse? He's like, I don't have that as. We need to remove.
Well,
this.
Arthur's a cleric. I think that's the sort of thing he might be able to help with.
He's like, I suggest we get that plan in action? What do we do? Get them down here now, or?
Well, good luck, Bo, because I've already tried, and he got real angry about it. He said that it's his hat, and
Yes.
nobody else can wear it because it's best for him and not for anybody else. So maybe you can talk to him as you're a druid, and maybe he will listen to you because he's real mean to me at the moment.
Okay, I see. There's problems going on here. He's like, it's a curse. Okay, it's a curse. It's a curse. He's like, Len, go upstairs and tell. And she was like, he says, who do you say? Arta. He's like, tell Arta that we, shit. How do we get Arta? How do we get Arta to come downstairs?
If someone casts Thaumaturgy and coughs really loudly. 3 times.
We need a good reason. He's like, Len, think of something. Len's like, what? Come. So okay, cool. So as this is going on, the rest of you upstairs, what would you be doing? You actually, I would say the sound will travel enough that you hear Fabian go into brat mode, which all of you would likely be like, ooh, Bo's getting...
Definitely not going downstairs then.
For a bit, yeah. So I think you'd want to stay upstairs for a bit when you hear the tone slightly change, the voice get raised but not shouting. You know, that sort of...
I'm just gonna go out for a walk.
I would. Cool. You want to go out for a walk? I would say don't purposely make this harder than it needs to be, but cool.
I beg.
We can keep rolling shit all day, everyone. Cool. You go out for a walk. Len's going to come upstairs. Von, Otter. Von and Zaga, what are you doing?
I'm still eating.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm super
fine just eating.
It's just whether you wanted.
I'm
It
just
would
happy
only been
it's
about
someone
3 or
else.
4 minutes that
I'm just happy it's someone else getting the.
Yeah,
treatment
you can
instead
hear
of
someone
me.
else. Yeah, I suppose that would make sense.
Zaga's just getting impatient and wondering why Bo hasn't brought any meat yet.
Nice. Cool. So you guys are upstairs waiting for it to go. Len kind of comes upstairs, looks around, and he's like, he comes over to Arta. He's like, Arta, hey, Bo was saying he has something to go through with you downstairs about mustaches.
Insight check.
Uh-huh.
That is a 24.
I got a 14. He's like, makes no sense.
Taking in mind Bratwin's outburst, I feel like I'm going to get shouted at, so I'm going to stay.
He's like, honestly, he said it will make your mustache perfect. Just wants to go through it with you downstairs, like now. You can see in his face that he's like his eyes widen towards you as he's kind of. Like,
Fine. I go downstairs.
Good. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's like enjoy your breakfast, guys. As he like shuffles downstairs. As you come downstairs to catch the back end of like Bratwin and Bo, as you can see, Bo is like pacing. He's like going through stuff, kind of like frantically just dotting between like 3 or 4 stations. As Len's like, okay. As you come downstairs, and Bo's like, Arta. So Fabian's just told me that Von Van's wearing a cursed helmet of some sort that he found in a church or a ruin that has divine power.
My eyes go wide.
Yeah,
He's wearing a what?
Yeah.
He's wearing a hat.
It's
The antlers.
cool. A
Arta.
hat.
What
yes.
antlers?
Let's break it down. He's wearing a cursed hat.
He's always had those.
No. He stops and
God,
looks at Fabian.
out of character. Have I just realised that gaslighting is part of Arta's character development?
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel.
Does it only work if people believe you though? That's the problem.
You've been doing this all campaign.
Yeah.
I know, but it's only just occurred to me.
And we'll get you as a boy or cries.
It is technically gaslighting.
As he's like, Fabian says he's got a new headband. Antler
I guess
piece.
so.
Perfect.
What's the problem?
We've
never had any problems
cursed.
with like cursed artifacts before. It'll be fine.
Well, now you have. So, I mean, you have the ability to do something about that. You're a cleric. This real falls into your domain of.
I mean, what do you mean?
usefulness,
I
like removing curses.
I'm not the king of hats.
He looks at you, just like.
Can you
I mean,
understand, Bo?
I
Can you see why I'm so bratty all of the time?
I'm just saying, like, we go backwards and forwards on a daily basis about whether this is a fucking stupid idea. Right now,
I mean, is it actually cursed? Do we even know if it's actually cursed?
well, let's just take a risk, shall we? Let's find out. Maybe Yvonne's going to go upstairs. Maybe he's killed Zag already. Who even
Yeah,
knows?
but I can only do so many spells in a day, Bo.
Fine. You're the ones running around with him. Go out with the cursed hat. I would recommend you find a way of removing it, though.
I'll think about it when I next wake up.
Cool. So you don't have it in your wheels. I mean, you could just say you don't have the power. It's fine to say it. Like, we all don't have powers.
I don't have the power
to do it either.
today.
Okay, fine. Today.
can't
Well, let's hope he
Whatever.
doesn't kill us all by today then.
Sweet.
That's what I said when I wake up. What do you think?
will
Do you think I memorize?
have-
I can memorize every single spell known to man.
Honestly, I just need to know whether you were useful or not. Found out you aren't. So it's fine. Just watch out, because clearly we just need to all be aware this is fucked up. We understand. Finding relics in divine places of power that transform items you have and then
Cool, is that
putting
all
them
you
on your
needed?
head is a bad idea.
Nice. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
yeah. Cool. You're useless to me. Fabian, you need to fix this. I'm gonna
How
have to tell
you
Grom that the Von is running around with a cursed item on his head.
Can you hold off
No.
until tomorrow?
What happens? We can't remove it now. You're gonna go into the area that is closest to the influence of this power with a member of your party that is cursed. He's like, not to mention, fucking Otter's blood also was cursed. Not cursed now, but was cursed. This curse is knocking around. You guys are, you're mixing. You're flying super close to the sun, and at some point, someone's gonna fucking burn up.
It's a good thing Bo doesn't know about when Zaga was cursed with the dragon.
Oh
story, isn't it?
yeah. There's so much. He's like, I need to tell Grom because you guys could end up compromised. We don't.
What do you
know.
mean couldn't have compromised?
Could end up compromised.
I didn't tell him.
You're
You
gonna
know
go
when he put
into
that
the
hat on? When
forest?
he was gone.
I'm just saying, if we can remove the curse, then we can remove the hat. We need to isolate you guys from cursed items. You need to be aware that this is happening. Otter's blood had traces of a curse. You've now told me that we're just picking up relics and putting them on our heads. That's crazy
Well,
behavior.
hang on. When you say we, Bo,
I'm treating
please be
collectively.
crystal clear.
Well, let's be
No.
honest. You've got the one that could be useful with the actual divine power running around like a child, not preparing the things that might help. You're going to have to get taken as a collective. Collective intelligence here.
Can you give them this speech? Because I keep
No.
having it and they're calling me a brat.
I'm telling Grom that Von is running around with a cursed artifact on his head.
Okay, can I just go and tell Von that you're going to do that? How do you think that will go down?
Are you blackmailing me now? Is this what's fucking happening?
I'm looking forward to the persuasion check here.
I'm not. I'm just saying maybe he will react in a way that will prove whether it is cursed or not.
Okay. How about you need to find a way to remove the curse from the item, which should enable it to be removed from Von. If it is cursed in any way in controlling him or his actions, the only way to remove the curse is to either remove it from him or remove it from the item directly. Better from the item directly. But a powerful item like that likely won't be able to just be removed by a simple spell. You want to get it away from him, clear him, and then you want to quarantine the item. But be on the lookout. There could be curses floating about all over the place. If this Death Bloom has the ability to access and control divine curses, you guys need to really watch out with what you are putting on your head. Figuratively, holding in your hand, attuning to. Anything you find from here on out, tainted goods.
I agree.
Okay. You need to fix this.
Well, we collectively, right? Because this isn't just on me. I'm the one that raised this as an issue.
We collectively, as this group, yes, need to fix this. but I don't have
Just so
the
you know,
ability
we're
right
on the
now.
same page.
Okay, good.
Does Len have remove curse?
Oh, of course. I forgot. Len. No, of course Len doesn't have a... We need to find clerics. Curses are divine. We need someone that has that divine power.
Oh my god. How long ago did Callan leave?
It's worth noting, by the way, just out of character here, I'm reading the remove curse spell, and if it's a cursed magical object, magical item, its curse remains.
I don't know. Oh, its curse remains, did you say?
Yeah. It breaks its owner's attunement to the object, so it can be removed or discarded, but it still remains cursed.
So we'd have to take it off him and remove the curse from
No,
him.
it can't be removed until I've done remove curse,
Remove
but the object
curse.
remains cursed after that.
Remove
Right.
curse breaks the attunement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have to touch it.
Okay.
I can also do it, but I need to sleep too. So
I can also bestow curse.
Brilliant. Glad you're not downstairs. Cool. So, I will let Grom know. You will fix this. I suggest if you're going back, which I assume you are, you find a way of fixing this pretty soon.
Could you, when you speak to Grom, could you say it as like a, hey, by the way, there's a lot of cursed objects going around with the death bloom.
No.
There has been an incident where Ron
I will have
has
to say
picked one up, but
potentially-
we are removing the curse.
I have no assurance you're going to remove the curse right now. I have to tell
We
him that you
will.
may be compromised. This is our plan. I've just told you. Like, Grom's plan is in your hands. Von Van could be an agent of the Death Bloom. Von Van could be the Death Bloom. We don't know what that thing is doing. He's just put a thing on his head.
I know,
He's like
stupid.
Stupid. Yeah. Well, we can agree on that.
Yeah.
He's like fucking star druids. Honestly, the heads in the clouds.
Mm-hmm.
You fix this. I'll remain chill. And then you let me know as soon as it's fixed.
Right,
I
then.
ought to return to this point and stick his head through the door. Is it safe?
Yes, come down.
No,
Yeah,
not
actually,
you.
it
Up to the others
Oh.
upstairs.
Yeah. So yeah, Arthur's back upstairs. with
Fuck
Zaga
me.
hanging around.
Kill them all. Just kill every single one of them.
Nah, Bo's a little bitch. He just sits in his little room, not fucking helping with the fighting. We're set to die every single time we fight, and he's there being
Because
a little
people
bitch.
keep picking up cursed objects. That's why we're going to all die.
Don't look at me. I haven't done it once.
You're the one that picked it up.
I didn't pick it up.
You're not all together at the moment.
No, this is out of character.
Oh, okay. Just checking. Just reminding.
Zagan upstairs, still completely oblivious.
Yeah, you're just waiting to get moving. Von's getting towards the end of his big old bowl of cereal.
Fabian goes upstairs and does not speak to the group.
Okay. Bo and Len go back to working on whatever they're working on downstairs. But that is you know, Fabian, what Bo's plan is from here.
Yeah.
So Fabian's not talking to the group, so we don't realise the cat's curse, or we haven't thought of it yet.
Fabian stomps upstairs.
Oh no, Arthur does,
She
though,
knows
doesn't it?
what's
Because he went down.
Yeah, ultimately.
Oh.
Yeah, that's obviously the best person to have.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't play your characters. I just can only play the cards that are dealt, and then there's a lot of ones and twos knocking about in this. I'm trying to pull off a miracle out here. But yeah, so Fabian, you return back to the group. You are aware of what Bo is going to do.
So we
Hey, when
went
is
to the
Bo
forest.
still alive down there?
Yes, but we probably won't be for much longer.
Why? Is Bo going to kill us?
Oh,
Bo
I
couldn't
look
kill
at
a
Von
fly.
I look at Von Man. Bo won't kill us.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know, maybe because you put a stupid hat on your stupid head. Probably got a stupid curse.
Stupid hat on a stupid head.
Yes. Tell him about the curse while we have no way to remove it.
Whatever. Given up. End of campaign. Kill me off.
All become the baddies. Sweet. you finish your food. You're all sat. What's the plan?
So are we going back through the tree or what?
Yeah. You do that tree straight thing again, Van.
Are we following Undriel the way the footsteps went and we get back there?
I mean,
Yes.
I guess that's the best thing to do right now. We don't really have much else to go on.
I don't want to go back to that village full of liars.
There's no need to go back there anyway.
Well, let's go then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bob, you remember which tree we went through, right? You can take us back.
I remember the exact tree, yes.
Good, let's go.
Nice.
I'll go outside.
Is Faywin joining the group?
Yeah,
Kids.
Oh,
silently.
I'll go outside and get my Pegasus ready to travel.
Yeah. Pegasus is ready. Horse is there. I'm ready, sir. Ready for action. Let's go. You head on back down towards the tree. You going back to the ruin on the hill?
Yeah.
Sweet. You find the tree. Tree stride is cast, and you find yourself back in the border forest, back where you were just yesterday afternoon. The morning time here, as it's out on the hill, actually it's high enough up that you kind of are close to near the top of the tree, so it's actually quite fresh, quite nice here, and it's a much cleaner, smoother day, less fog around. You don't get the feel that the eeriness that was around this place before you're not feeling it as you arrive back here today. And then you are heading east.
Yeah,
The
we'll
direction
try
the tracks
and...
went. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to do beforehand? Or are you just heading off? Because you are essentially now... Are you wanting to follow the tracks? Because I'm going to say, otherwise you're just walking east.
Oh yeah, follow tracks. Yeah, that
If we
is
can
what
still
the
see
plan
them,
is.
I guess.
Well, you're going to have to find them. So, who is going to lead the charge? Does anyone have any special abilities for helping to follow? Because you're going into deep forest now. You are entering the deepest part of the border forest. The tree coverage is quite thick, so it will be difficult to keep track unless you have certain abilities that are going to help you follow these footsteps through.
Hey,
I have,
Baywin, you're a ranger, right?
hmm
Are you good at tracking things? I would think you're good at tracking things.
My survival isn't as good as it could be, but we can't get lost when going through a forest.
Can't get lost is fine, but tracking is a different skill.
Yeah, I've got
good.
+3 survival.
I've got pretty good tracking.
I got +6.
I've got +10.
Let's follow Curse Boy.
What could possibly go wrong with that?
Well, the good news is I no longer have disadvantage on stealth checks.
Yay!
I mean, if you follow Von, surely you would get to the Death Beam sooner, right?
I rolled a nat 20 on the survival check. So that's
Nice.
a 30.
So you pick up.
That's a waste of a nat 20.
Yeah, you pick up the track and head east. Well, not really. At least you can follow the tracks.
Well, yeah, true.
Without getting lost. So as you now know that you've picked up, you can see where they were heading. They were heading deeper into the forest. You're just going to follow that track. You can't get lost, so you can always make your way back. So it's just a case of saying you're going to follow these tracks, and they're going to go somewhere. You hope they go somewhere useful. Otherwise, you're just stuck. You're just following tracks. You're essentially at the moment just deep walking into the forest.
Yeah,
What?
sounds good.
Is your marching order? Who is keeping track of what, and how are you moving? Are you moving at pace to try and get there quickly, knowing that you've taken a break, or are you trying not to disturb? This is obviously easterly direction where you believe there may be something in the woods.
I guess I'll be behind Von, wherever he is in the list. Just so if anything does happen, I can...
Yeah, I'm assuming Von's leading.
Yeah, I'd probably be focused fully on the tracks rather than
You can move at normal pace. If you want to go more stealthy, it's going to be slower to travel through. It's going to take you more hours to get through because you're trying to be quiet. If you're going at normal pace, it's fine. If you want to go fast, you can't get lost. And with that roll, you're probably finding the track. So actually, you're probably going to stay on track, but you'll get through quicker, obviously making more noise. So it's just your choice of travel. So Von up front.
We're following Von's lead, so
Yep.
how fast are you going?
Cool. So, and you'll just on foot coming your way through, because I know you're on a Pegasus as well, so I'm assuming you're just tracking through the forest.
Yeah, I'm trotting at the back of the line.
Yeah, cool. Nice. As you make your way eastward, this area of the forest is super dense. You as characters, like PCs, can get through. You can see where the Pegasus doesn't necessarily struggle in places, but there's certain ways where you have to take just a slightly different route around a tree than the others would do, just for the density of the forest that's in here. You also pick up where certain areas have started to be cleared out as you travel at normal
Can I
pace.
just ask you a quick question?
Yep.
When we long rested, I assume my Pegasus gets its missing HP back.
Yeah, I'm assuming that, it long rests. It doesn't say anything on there about it. It just is there until it dies, right?
Yeah.
So it should have hit dice as well. So yeah, as long as it will get full health back. As you start making your way through the underbrush. My fucking mouse died. It's really annoying. Through the forest, picking your routes, but you can see how dense it is in here as you're pacing your way through. These footsteps that you're following, Von, with your check that you picked up, you can see are moving at not like a running pace, but they're definitely the stride on them is quite large. You can see that they were moving through here, trying to get somewhere quickly. They weren't picking their pace. The pace of the footsteps is a little faster than your pace. So they weren't slowly picking their way through. These footsteps were moving at quite an aggressive pace to get through the forest quickly. You can tell that from like the stride markation and where they've broken brush and where they've broken some of the smaller trees that are here as you follow your way in and round and through.
Zaga will be keeping an eye out for danger because he's really good at that.
Yeah, cool. So give me, if you're keeping an eye out, you'd have to stop and pick out places. Give me a perception check just for keeping your eyes out, which you or the Pegasus.
I'll do it for the Pegasus. It'll be 11.
11. Okay, cool. He's super good at doing that. I love asking and then realizing it's rubbish rolls.
I did it as a dirty 20.
Okay. As you are picking out and looking for anything you can, but you're moving at a pace, which means you're just looking out for danger as it's coming up to you, because you are just walking through the forest. You're just keeping your eyes scanning left and right, watching out for anything that might come charging out at you. But you are moving at a pace that you know you're making noise. So things will hear you before you hear them, unless they're doing the same thing. You know that from your pace. You make it through the forest. The forest is thick. It's hard work. You probably travel for about 3 or 4 hours to say at this pace to get to where would be close to like the center of this hex, as it's hard work making your way almost. And the way you're moving is, Faywin would know as a ranger, not getting lost. You're moving. The tracks don't go in a straight eastward direction. Of those 2 hexes, you've got a hex that goes further south, which is is where this ruin of Stoneholm exists, and then there's a hex to the top, and there's obviously a hex that's directly over. It looks like these tracks are taking you up in a northeasterly direction, so like it's taking you to the hex that would sit below Whitewood, the one that Bryn had been to before marked on the map. You kind of pick that when it comes out, you start turning up in a northeasterly direction. And as it starts to happen and come round, you come to an area where the ground raises slightly and plateaus a little bit. There are areas that have been cleared out. Opposite. It drops down slightly, gets a little more boggy. And there's areas where you can see trees have been felled, and where there's more rotten trees, stuff has fallen over. You can see it's a little bit more swampy and dank as you get to this bit, and it slows you down somewhat as you kind of get to a low point as you're traveling across. But you can see the sky now. So some of the tree line that's cleared, you can see up to the sky. You can still see that it's like a beautiful, clear day. It just gives you a bit of a respite. You get a bit of sun in your face as you're moving down. As you cross through this marsh area, and you can see where the trees look in Von, or I suppose anyone wants to, but those that are more proficient would probably be best. Give me a nature check.
Not me then. That's a
Yeah.
-1.
Yeah. You can if
I
you
rolled a
want.
nat
but-
one.
Oosh.
I got a
10.
14.
14. Okay. 10 and 14.
No,
You
no,
can see that the trees here are in. Most of them are in fairly good condition where they've been cut down. Even though the ones that are like waterlogged and fallen, they're not showing huge amounts of like death bloom rot around them. See a few of them here and there have got some sign of like the vine growth that wraps around and sucks the life out of the trees. But a lot of these have fallen or have been felled and actually look fairly healthy. As you are making your way through this slightly slower, boggy area, it bunches you all up as you're picking your path. The Pegasus actually would probably have the easiest ride through, being higher up out the ground and being able to pick its path. As Von, you get yourself out into this slightly more open clearing as you hear a little ting, as you hear a crack from a tree, and I need you all to roll dexterity saving throws, please.
Am I rolling or is the Pegasus?
The Pegasus. You are attached to the Pegasus.
21.
21.
15.
Pass, fail.
I got a 13.
Hang on, let me check. So, Von, Faywin, fail. Otter, pass.
No, the Pegasus will fail.
Yep. Otter,
Second.
dexterity saving throw.
5.
Oh, fucking hell. A huge log gets released from far off to your right hand side, almost catching you from behind somewhat. So the Pegasus' legs would be the first one to get clamped as this log swings down, attached to two huge, large ropes, swings through and clatters everyone except Otter. You all will take 13 points of bludgeoning damage. You are knocked prone, and you
Do
are
I get that halved or nothing?
no nothing. You dodge it completely, and you are knocked into a pit. It's not a huge pit, but off the left-hand side, what looked like a swampy area is in fact a net pit trap. As you are, poof, all of you that are knocked prone are knocked into it, and you are now restrained as the rope. Otter, you just watch this log come down as you kind of catch it, as you duck. It clatters everyone. They fall off 10 foot to the left-hand side. You just see him crash down. The horse fucking lays out as it wraps up and just shoots them up in the air. And you see these thick ropes that are running out and round that you had not seen before as this huge net gets hoisted. Doesn't get hoisted as far as it probably should do because it's got 5 creatures inside it, but this huge net trap, thick rope just kicks off and flies up as you kind of just pause. I need you all to roll initiative, and we will probably pick up next time what that means.
Can I ask how high up we are?
You are 15 foot up.
I got 24.
14.
6.
5.
22.
22, 24. There was a lot of low numbers in there.
Dice
guys.
rolls have been shit today.
Yeah, maybe we should just do the fight now. Sorry, what was I saw? Faywin, I had a 6. Von and Arta,
14.
14.
5.
Arta 5. Jesus, nice. So yeah, the 4 of you and the Pegasus get swooped up, hanging 15 foot from this thick net. You are currently all restrained, hanging as you slowly swing sideways. Otter, as you kind of look around, you catch the mechanisms of it. You can see where the ropes are running, and as you look around, you can see that log is now just hanging to the side of you, where you've dodged it to your left-hand side. You see your party up here. The rest of you that are hanging in there just see these little brush areas move as 4 of these figures. You just see heads pop up. heads that are 4 or 5 times the size of your heads, as crept and hiding in ambush for kind of grey stone skin coloured giants with mud painted across their skin, bits of red cloth that has been hidden and covered in mud, raise themselves up with, I think they have spears and rocks and boulders as they start to make their way towards you, Otter. And that is where we will pick up next week. There be giants. Sweet. That went well. Hope curses don't come back and bite us in the arse. And we'll pick up next week on Thursday. Back to Thursday.
Wait, somebody's cursed.
What? No. Nobody's cursed. Somebody? Everybody? Who even knows? I'm going to go and have a cold bath just to get over that interaction. GG's. Ta-ta. Farewell.
Nipples.